we
taught
have,
you all.
and then
Hey,
we have, and
Ian,
then we have your
life
students down here. Is that,
experience.
am
Ian,
I,
life taught me what I know.
am I
Your
like
teacher
vaguely
taught you
gesturing at
what
the
you
right
know.
structure? Is this, hey, how's it going?
What's up, Ian? How you doing, brother? How's everything?
Doing well, doing well. How old are you?
I am 27 years old, brother. How about you? How old are you?
I'm 24. What religion are you?
So I wouldn't say I particularly identify with a religion. I identify as a follower in Christ, right? The one true God.
Sure.
So awesome. So I have a couple questions for you, right? So you're 24 years of age.
Mhm.
Are you traditionally educated via the school system? How are you educated on this?
On God?
In general.
Lots of different ways.
Okay,
I
just
don't
name
know,
them.
like college, high school, etc.
Okay, so
I
college, high
read books on
school.
like philosophy of religion. Um, watch YouTube videos. I watch Majesty of Reason on YouTube, which is basically like getting a PhD. Um, yeah, lots of different ways.
Okay, so your education and your knowledge comes from the world, right? From the world.
Hmm.
Okay, so your education and knowledge comes from the world. Have you solely held this perspective your entire life?
No, I used to be a Christian, but I don't really think that that's relevant.
Well, that is extremely relevant because I now that's actually good to know. So you were a Christian. When did you fall out of that?
Well, this is just the best you could ever do with an argument that relates to my personal experience would be like an argument ad hominem, which is why it's not relevant. There's no argument that you could make from my personal experience that wouldn't be a fallacy,
Well,
which is why
you
it's
have to
not
understand that
relevant.
everything has a basis. There's a reason why you're here, and I need to understand
Mhm.
the reason why you're here in order to form a perfect argument, in order to give you clarity. I need to understand your basis. I can't just come in here asking random questions without understanding who you are. So it absolutely does pertain.
No, I don't think it does. I think that you could just give an argument. You could say like this proves God exists, if
No,
like this
so
fact
Ian,
about the
so that
world
doesn't make any sense. No,
is
what you're doing is you're backing
what we
people
would
against a wall.
expect
You're not
if
even
God
allowing people to
existed, but
get.
it's not what we would
Sir, you're
expect
not
if God
allowing
didn't
people to get enough
exist,
information on you to actually give you an argument
because
and
it's
bring you
not
clarity.
relevant.
See,
You
this
could
is your
have my
problem.
entire biography. It wouldn't make any argument better or worse.
Ian, this is what you don't understand and you're blocking out right now. That makes complete nonsense. What you just said does not make sense. To understand how to even get you to clarity, I have to understand who you are.
I don't think that's true. I think logic is universal. I think it's objective. I don't think it depends on the individual or the circumstance. I think that a logical argument is logical no
Okay.
matter who's the one
Okay.
giving it
So,
or
okay.
who's the one receiving
Logical.
it.
Understood. Okay. So I think it is illogical for God to not exist because the universe had a starting point, correct?
I don't agree with that. Why would I think that?
So, okay. So in your opinion, the universe did not having a starting point and it was always here.
Yes.
But isn't the scientific point of view that the starting point was the Big Bang?
No.
So what is it?
The science doesn't indicate one way or another, but there's models of the universe always existing that are well supported by the evidence. A recent survey of physicists, though, when asked about the Big Bang, said that it says nothing about the beginning of the universe.
Ian, logic states we were all taught the same thing in school about the Big Bang, brother. Same thing.
Yeah,
Were we not?
yeah, it was false. It was an oversimplification. Yeah,
It was an oversimplification based off of where? Where did you get this from?
based off of all of the PhD physicists and PhD physics candidates that I've talked to about this issue, based on
And what about
the
all the
survey
PhD
of
physicists and all the
physicists where
PhD?
70% of them say that it's not the start of the universe. It's just the majority opinion. At one point, I think it was widely believed that it was the start of the universe. At this point, that's no longer the majority opinion. Unfortunately, what we learn in school is usually a couple years behind the actual science as it progresses.
And you think the school being a couple years behind erases the hundreds of the thousands of years of? Is that what you're saying?
We haven't had the Big Bang for thousands of years. This was developed in like the 1930s.
Okay, understood. Okay, so what is your explanation for the logic behind the fine tuning of the universe? How do you believe that is?
Pivot. I think that the fine tuning of the universe, okay, let's get clear. What specifically do you find finely tuned?
What do I find finely tuned? Gravity, magnetism. That's kind of you even asking that question doesn't really make logical sense because you can just Google that this entire Earth is fine tuned, everything about it. Is that
Oh,
wrong?
that's for
Is it
sure
wrong?
the wrong fine-tuning argument. That's why I ask, because there's like some good data related to fine-tuning, um, but it's not that, you know. The Earth could easily be stronger in gravity because it would be stronger in gravity if there was just like more atoms at the center of the Earth.
You said
So,
if there
yeah.
was
Yeah.
if.
Well, that's
So are
what
we
the
talking?
fine-tuning argument is. It's if it would be different, then there would be no life. That's just not true in terms of like the Earth's gravity.
Okay, understood. So okay, now what is your explanation for DNA being coded information?
Okay, W pivot. Um, Depends what we mean by information. If what we mean by information is just like some function whereby one thing leads systematically to like another thing, then I think this is the type of thing that could evolve or just come about via laws of physics. That this can happen just through like natural processes. But if what you mean by information is like something that's like meaningful, then I would reject that. That's what our DNA is.
Okay, and again, you're saying it's pivots, but I'm simply stating points. So if you want me to not pivot and just simply state, okay, logical reasoning as to why God must exist, right?
Mhm.
So can you just give me your foundational basis as to why you believe he doesn't?
Yeah. If there was a button in front of you, pushing that button makes all cancer disappear forever. Would pushing that button be the objectively right thing to do?
Would pushing that button be the objectively correct thing to do
Yeah.
to eradicate cancer?
Yeah.
I think morally, I would love for cancer not to be here. So, yes.
Okay. Sure. Does God think that pushing that button is the objectively right thing to do?
Ooh, so here's again, I can't speak for God, neither can you. One, right? Okay, but this is a good, again, I understand what you said. Um, I am not God,
Hmm.
right? You're the fact, okay, so you asking this question implies that you understand God in full, which you don't. You don't.
No. It was
It's not
just a yes or
possible.
no question.
Okay, so ask me that question one more time. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There's a button in front of you, or in this case, in front of God.
Oh, I said yes.
Um,
For me, that I
yeah.
would respond.
Yeah. There's a button in front of God. Pushing that button cures all cancer forever. Would pushing that button be the objectively right thing to do?
Yeah, I said yes.
Okay. Has God pushed that button?
No. And are you saying because there's cancer that God doesn't exist?
Yeah, if the objectively right thing to do is to cure cancer, if you have the power to, God has the power to, and he hasn't done it, then he couldn't possibly be all good because there's a moral obligation that he hasn't fulfilled.
Ian, do you realize we could cure cancer right now as human beings without God?
What about all the years that we couldn't?
Ian, do you understand that's a lie? Do you understand you're traditionally educated
How
in the
were they
fact that you're saying
supposed to
that
cure
cancer couldn't
cancer
be?
2,000 years ago? What
Say it
about the
again, please.
dinosaur bones that have cancer on them? How do you explain any of that? Were the dinosaurs supposed to cure it as well?
Whereas I hear in the dinosaurs, Mr. Ian, you're talking about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I'm talking about cancer. You're talking
Mhm.
about dinosaurs.
Yeah, dinosaurs
So
had cancer.
okay, so again, your question to me is objectively, wouldn't that be the correct thing to do to press the button
Hmm.
in order to remove all cancer? Okay, cool. Now, right now, Ian, we can cure cancer, right?
Wait, I'm not going to take the bait on this. Let's say that, so that's like obviously
Debate.
false, but
Okay, I'm sorry.
let's say that it's true. Why wouldn't God cure cancer from the start?
Why? Okay, so why wouldn't God cure cancer from the start?
Mhm.
So why wouldn't God cure cancer from the very beginning? So, do you believe that all human suffering should be ended at this very point if
I
God
didn't say
existed?
that.
Okay, but cancer is suffering and cancer is a form of disease, and you're saying that should be taken away if
Yeah.
God existed and he was morally correct. So, are you
Yeah.
saying that because this exists, God doesn't exist?
Yeah, like these natural evils, these natural sources of suffering. Yeah. I think
Okay.
that God could get rid of all of these, and that would be the good thing to do.
Okay. So you believe that God's existence should point to a perfect world,
Didn't say that.
a world without suffering,
Didn't say that either. A world where nature itself is not the driving cause of so much suffering.
a world where nature itself is not the driving cause of so much suffering.
Yeah.
Explain to me how nature is the driving cause of so much suffering. Just real quick.
Yeah, because the majority of, or like the largest percentage of human deaths that you could attribute to a single factor would be attributed to malaria. Malaria has killed billions, billions with a B, billions of people. Cancer takes 10 million people every year. Earthquakes take like 200,000 people every year. And that doesn't even account for all the rest of the diseases. These are
Okay,
horrible
so
diseases that lead to horrible suffering, and there's no reason to have them.
so because of natural causes, you believe that that points to a direct showing that God does not exist.
hmm Because the alternative is absurd moral conclusions.
So so that I've never heard that argument, Ian. I've never heard the argument where because of natural causes existing, that means God doesn't exist. That doesn't really make sense. Okay, so let me say. Okay, so okay, can you tell me where this basis is? Okay, so natural suffering exists, God does not exist.
hmm
I can't connect those two, Ian. How come? How
Yeah.
did you connect those
Why,
two?
on your worldview, wouldn't God snap his fingers and cure malaria, snap his fingers, cure cancer?
Why wouldn't? Okay, so from my education on God, God works in ways in which humans do not understand.
Mm. So the answer
Right.
is that you don't know?
So, okay, so when you follow God, you understand in full that there is no way you'll know everything. But because you don't follow God, Ian, you think that you do know everything, and you think that you can absolutely explain every single thing. And that's where, again, life is going to show you. I don't need to show you. Life is going to show you that no matter how hard you try, you're never actually going to have it all figured out. And in fact, there's probably many variations and times in your life where you've looked back and you didn't actually understood how you got to that end goal or that goal, that point, but you got there. Okay. So I've learned throughout my life to release the need and the want for the explanation as to why things are certainly happening and let them happen, and in turn remain a positive, happy mindset towards my life. Right. That has brought me to freedom, right? So me personally, I was an atheist up until about 24 years old, right? I didn't believe in God. I was thinking, if I can't see him, how could he possibly exist? If I've never spoken to him, how could he possibly exist? You know, kind of the basic art, right? Now, is your view like that? That was your concrete evidence. Your concrete, the foundational basis, as the question I asked you earlier, is because earthquakes and all these natural events happen, God does not exist. That is the foundation of your thinking.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay, that's not enough.
it
That's
certainly
not.
is. You have
That's
no
not it.
explanation for it. This is just like a phenomena that in your worldview remains completely unexplained. You can explain every single instance of suffering on my worldview. You can talk and explain how like UV rays cause mutations, cause skin cancer. You can talk about all the other mechanisms by which cancer comes about. You can talk about the evolution of viruses leading to things like malaria. You can understand tectonic plates and the way that they lead to earthquakes. You can make sense of all of these things in my worldview, but it makes no sense in your worldview where there's a guy who's supposedly all good who allows all this suffering for like no reason, reasons that you can't even begin to explain.
Okay, I like it. So I had the same exact points back then, Ian, when I was an atheist, where if all of this suffering is in the world, all of these negative things are in the world, how could a just and all perfect God exist? Understood. So I'm thinking, so you were a Christian all your life, right? Born and raised?
Yeah, but again, I don't think this is relevant.
Okay. So I don't think it's relevant, Ian. Okay, man. All right, Ian. I would say that, you know, The questions that you're asking again are, and the points you're giving are, they're of the world. So you were a Christian. Can you now bring me a godly reason on my end? Because me, I'm on this side of the world to understand, because you were on both sides. So you should be able to directly be able to bring me back into your side as I was on that side as well.
Sure.
Give me the side on the religious side. So
Yeah.
I connect it, because you're connecting it through worldly, earthquakes and stuff like that. Connect it in the godly manner that you understand because you were there for all
Yeah.
of the.
I want you to picture you have an important mission, and as you're walking past a town, a bunch of children come and make fun of you for your appearance. What sort of punishment do you think would be a kind punishment to give these kids?
I wouldn't give these kids a punishment at all because I wouldn't let the children rot. I don't let children affect my emotions. What do you mean?
Do you think that it would be in like the ballpark of a reasonable response to tear them to shreds with bears?
Um, no.
I'm gonna turn now to Second Kings 2:23,
Okay.
and we'll read about God doing that exact thing.
Okay. Is this what? Is Old Testament or New?
This is Old Testament, same God though. He went up there from Bethel, and while he was going up on the way, some small boys came out of the city and jeered at him, saying, "Go away, bald head, go away, bald head." When he turned around and saw them, he cursed them in the name of the Lord. Then two she-bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys. Do you think that this was like a kind punishment to give them?
No, it doesn't really sound too kind. No, that's not a kind punishment.
Hmm.
Were they deceased after that?
Presumably. If they're not deceased, they're at least mauled.
Okay.
I know some translations translate it as tore them to shreds, so
Okay, mystery. I like that. That's a great point. So you mentioned directly in the Old Testament the punishment that was given to children who did something very small, and the punishment was obviously oversized. That's your basis of it. Your
yeah.
basis of the punishment was oversized. Okay.
It just doesn't seem very fitting for a God who's all just. You'd expect a just punishment.
And what would be that just punishment in your eyes?
I think that what you said is perfectly acceptable. Nothing. I don't think that that's the type of thing that requires a punishment. If a kid develops these unvirtuous dispositions to make fun of people, if they become the type of person that badmouths people, that makes fun of people for their appearance, then they'll meet with lots of struggle and lots of suffering in their life on their own. The suffering that they'll endure from developing these unvirtuous dispositions is enough of a punishment in and of itself. There's no need for some sort of external punishment.
I can agree with you on that. That one I can agree, but that would not completely decimate the argument of God, because you and I both understand that God is a lot deeper than that. It's not just a simple, okay, he did this, therefore he doesn't exist. Is it that to you?
I mean, we can go through like numerous examples of this exact thing, though. I think like how many of these would you need in order to start being convinced that like maybe God doesn't exist or maybe he's not kind?
Okay, so I don't believe God is kind. I believe he is working for the he is for the greater good. Okay, just like there's likely been many times in your life where you felt like things were happening to you that were not of the greater good, and then you look back and you realize without those experiences happening to you, you wouldn't have turned into the man who you are today. You wouldn't have the brain you have right now, right?
So there's going to be a problem with that because there's a verse in the Bible that explicitly says God is kind.
There's a verse in the Bible that says God is kind.
Yeah, in all of his ways.
Of course.
Psalms 145:17.
Yeah, but you're okay. He speaks in what? How does God speak in parables, right? God is kind.
Do you not think he's kind? Let me
I
pull up the
understand
verse.
God
The
is absolutely kind, but not in the manner at which we humans believe what kind is.
mhm. I'll read the verse. The Lord is just in all his ways and kind in all of his doings. If mauling a bunch of boys with bears is kind, then I just don't know what kindness even is. To me, the word is just like a placeholder. It means like blarg. I don't know what the word means at that. Excuse me.
Okay.
I don't know what the word means at that point.
You don't know what the word means at that point due to understood. So to you, it's a contradiction. Is that what
Well,
you're saying?
yeah, it's just like if kindness has any meaning at all, if it's even in the ballpark of what I understand kindness to be, then this is an unkind action.
That's an unkind action. And because there is an unkind action, it disproves all of the other points of God.
Well, that just raises a contradiction.
Okay. So what it, okay. So you understood. It raises a contradiction in your mind. Absolutely.
Hmm.
I can't actually argue that because I will agree. I personally also don't feel mauling people with bears is kind, but again, I understand God is not surface. It's not. It's a lot. And again, I know you understand because you mentioned you were a Christian, so it really boggles me as to how you can. Again, you take surface. You take surface as truth and clarity, when the reality of God is that it is everything besides surface. It is absolutely everything besides surface, and everyone who does think in a surface manner will never truly understand God. So, okay, Ian, objective morality existing, right? How do
Yeah.
you explain where our morality originated from?
Yeah. Morality is a necessary means to a necessary end. Every single person holds as an end their own well living. Everyone strives to live well in every single action that they take. When you reflect on the structure of your life, the things that you're aiming
That's
at,
not correct,
you
Ian.
every single person is aiming at living well as their end. And the necessary end for living well is going to be developing virtuous dispositions. The way that you live is determined by the characteristics that you have. That determines how and what you do, how you respond to various situations. And those are developed as dispositions. So, morality is objective insofar as there is a certain set of objective good dispositions that you need to develop in order to achieve your goal of human flourishing, of human living well.
So, where's the origin of the morality that you're saying all humans feel?
I'm not saying all humans feel it, I'm saying that there's objective right or wrong answers. Whether all humans feel it is a secondary question. You know, not all humans intuit that 2 plus 2 is 4. But when the dumb kid says 2 plus 2 is 5, I don't let that bother me as to my conclusions on 2 plus 2 is 4. So people might disagree with it, and I would just say that they're wrong.
But you can't disagree that objective morality doesn't exist. It does.
I agree.
And okay, so if you agree, then what is your answer to the source of objective morality that we all are born with?
Yeah. Well, it's the
You're saying your answer was we all must gradually over time gain this morality through our experiences, but I'm telling you that we all have originated with it from the beginning.
No, that's incompatible with history. Lots of places like, I don't know, the Mongols, the Crusaders, all sorts of people did horrible crimes. The Nazis, it doesn't seem like they shared your sense of morality at all.
Well,
And I
remember,
think that they were objectively wrong, but I wouldn't make the claim that they knew what they were doing is wrong. I would just make the claim that I don't think that they reflected enough on their actions. They didn't have a deep enough grasp of morality to understand that what they were doing was wrong.
well, we now both, well, you also know that there's two sides to life. There's the godly side and there's the devil side. That
Hmm.
side exists as well.
Hmm.
So the answer to why does the other side exist is because the other side exists. The devil is real.
But they didn't
Correct.
think what they were doing was wrong.
Correct.
But I thought it
Uh,
was written on our hearts.
are you saying what is his name? The guy, Genghis Khan. You're saying he did not believe what he was doing was wrong?
Nope.
You said, okay, so that, oh, okay, so, okay, wow. Okay, so your whole basis on objective morality is that because there were evil people throughout history, that we were actually not all born with objective morality.
I think that objective morality is a thing that exists. I don't think that everybody is going to intuit it. I think that some people's moral intuitions are underdeveloped and they don't realize that something is objectively wrong or objectively right because they haven't spent enough time reflecting on it. So that's why
Okay.
some people are going to intuit it and some people aren't. The fact is, morality is not a thing that you're born with, it's a thing that needs to be developed through careful reflection. Virtue is a thing that needs to be developed like a skill through deliberate action, through learning about the right thing to do, why doing one thing is the right thing to do in one circumstance, so you can understand the principle, the structure that underlies it, that underlies doing the right thing, so that you can take these principles and apply it to different situations. Um, Moral thinking, moral intuition is something that needs to be developed carefully.
Okay, so so are you telling me that when you were the ages of 5 to 18, you didn't understand that murder and abuse was objectively wrong? Are you saying that you
Well, I
didn't
didn't
under?
understand why, when I was like 3, I didn't understand why I couldn't just go and play with my brother's toys. You know, he has toys, I want them. Why can't I go and play with them? I didn't understand that at that time.
But why would you not be able to? You playing with your brother's toys isn't a objectively wrong thing. What are you saying?
But like me, like taking them without his permission probably would be.
That's not a again, we're talking about objective moral truths that lie in every human. Toys was not always here. Murder and abuse and betrayal was always here. And we all understand that those are incorrect. You brought in a worldly thing. You're talking about toys. That doesn't even pertain to objective
Of
morality.
course it
Object-
does. You would agree that like stealing your brother's toys is probably wrong, right?
yes.
Yeah, so it does pertain to objective morality.
Okay. Murder, abuse, and betrayal. True, wrong, right? When did you begin to understand those were incorrect, Ian? That you should not do that?
I didn't really have a good concept of things like murder or betrayal, or I probably had a concept of betrayal. I didn't really have a concept of like murder and abuse at the age of like 4. That would have been something that came later, and probably only reflecting on it. I'm not sure. I don't know. That would go back to when I was like 5 or 6. So maybe around those ages when I started reflecting on it, thinking about, maybe death is bad. It makes people sad.
And did you need anyone to tell you that, or did that automatically flow into your brain?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Ian, I didn't need it. What do you mean you don't remember?
I don't
I
remember the first time I learned about murder. I have no idea.
okay, well,
I
I remember.
remember playing like soldiers with my friends. I'd run around, make like the machine gun sounds. I don't know. It seems like me and my friends made light of it, although I don't know how that translates to my overall evaluation of the act.
Okay, so objective morality. The reason I brought this up is because we all inherently, as humans, can all see murder and understand that's wrong. And why do we understand that's wrong?
Well, I think that you can reflect on the nature of morality, the nature of your ultimate end, and then come to the conclusion that murder is wrong. Because in
But you're
order to
saying,
live a good life, you need to have self respect. But in order to have self respect, that requires self knowledge. And in order to have an unbiased understanding of yourself, you need to develop fair and just dispositions because you wouldn't want to be murdered. In order to maintain a fair disposition, you need to think that in most cases, almost every case, murder is going to be wrong just based on principles of fairness.
and where did these principles of fairness originate from?
A
Where
necessary precondition for living a good life because they're a necessary precondition for self-knowledge.
so the necessary precondition, which originated from.
These are just logically necessitated by the nature of knowledge.
So you're saying it's a given.
I don't
Is
know
that
what you
what
mean by given.
you're saying? Objective morality is a given just by being a human here on Earth and
I'm
through
saying that it's necessitated by the nature of being like a reflective agent.
And what do you mean by the nature of being a reflective agent? Explain.
Mhm. We think about our lives in two ways. We can think about our lives in some linear temporal way, where it's like event, 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 or we can think of our lives in a structured way, where we have an ultimate aim, we have all these goals, and all of our actions build towards various goals. We have a conception of a good life that everybody's trying to live, and there's certain things that we think will help us get that good life. But if we reflect on it logically, we're going to realize that there's certain necessary things to have this good life. One of those things is a fair disposition. You need to develop the ability to treat like cases alike in order to develop the ability to properly evaluate yourself. In order to get self knowledge, which is required for self respect. And if you don't have self respect, then you can't live a good life.
Well,
That
Ian,
means that a fair disposition, a disposition towards acting fairly, is going to be a necessary precondition for living a good life, which is everybody's goal, which means that everybody ought develop a fair disposition.
everything you're saying is off of the basis that everyone wants to live the same exact type of life, Ian. And
Everyone
there are
wants to live well. That's true.
what is well.
Yeah.
Ian,
Well,
I've lived in Bali, Indonesia, on the beach without any material items that I have now, and now I live in Miami in what people would call a good life. But I think both are good lives. So
mhm.
there are many different variations of what you would call a good life, which means there are very many different variations of what people would in fact go through and learn and experience in order to get to said good life. You just what you're saying is that everyone has the same exact ideal thought process of
Didn't say
what.
that.
No, you did
I
because of the
didn't
way
say
you
that.
your question was everyone wants to live a good life, hence why they must do XYZ. What is
Mhm.
a good life, Ian?
Yeah. A good life is going to be anything that falls within the range of the various virtues required to achieve any goal. There's virtues that need to be developed for any conception. People do have various conceptions of what it means to live a good life, I agree. But there's no conception of a good life, no coherent conception of a good life, that is, that's going to be lacking specific virtues like justice, like courage, like temperance, like wisdom. These are
Ian, if I wanted to go
necessary
live on a beach
virtues,
right
and
now,
there's no good life that's going to lack them because it leads to
Ian,
contradictions.
you're wrong. I could go live on a beach right now and not have to care about anything that you just said. What are
Mm.
you talking?
Well, in that case, you would be
And if I could,
developing an unfair disposition and you would be unable to have self respect, which means that you actually couldn't live a good life because you would lack self respect.
so you saying everyone who lives on islands right now currently does not live a good life and has no self-respect
If
because they
somebody doesn't do things that are just, if they're not caring, if they don't want to regard others and give them their proper due, then necessarily they're not going to be able to have self respect because they don't even have self knowledge. They can't even evaluate themselves because they have no experience. They're not disposed to actually behaving in just ways, which means, yeah, if
but the
you behave via unjust dispositions, you can't have self respect.
Okay, but the basis of everything you just said is if you want to live a good life,
Hmm.
Ian,
If you want to
your
live
de-
well, yeah.
your definition of well is not the earth's definition of well. So you cannot speak for every other human on this
I
earth.
already answered this objection. Do you remember what I answered it with?
Say it for me, remind me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure. I'll say it a second time. Yeah, there are lots of different conceptions of what it means to live well. You might live well as like a nurse. You might live well as like a soldier. Lots of different conceptions of living well. What virtue does is it gives a guideline for what is required to live any of them. That's the importance of virtue. You can live any life that's within the constraints of virtue, and it will be a good life. As long as you're virtuous, the rest of it is up to you. You get to set your goals, whether you want to be somebody like you want to be like a doctor, you want to be a caretaker, you want to be somebody who makes the world a better place, you want to be somebody who builds wells, you want to do any of that. As long as it has virtuous dispositions, you will be able to live that life. But if you lack these virtuous dispositions, you won't be able to live a good life because there will be contradictions in your conception of a good life.
But again, you're making this whole entire basis off of your definition of a good life, Ian. I
No?
can see right here it says virtuous means honesty, integrity, kindness, courage, humility, and self-control, right? Being good, right, and noble. I don't see any single use case for any of these if I just determine my life as well if I just live on a beach. I don't see how this would pertain in any way, shape, or form.
Sure. So when I talk about virtue, I'm talking about it in the sense of virtue ethics as it exists in the philosophical literature. It's not going to be the type of thing that you can just grab out of a dictionary. What virtue is the disposition to do the right thing in the relevant area of your life. So, for example, there's a perfect amount of willingness to face risk, willingness to face danger. That perfect amount is called courage. In order to acquire the things that you are aiming at in your life, you're going to need to be courageous. If you're too accepting of risks, then you're foolish. And if you're not accepting enough of risks, then you're cowardly. Both cases lead you to frustrating your own goals. You won't be able to achieve your goals if you're foolish, and you won't be able to achieve your goals if you're cowardly. You need to be brave. You need to develop the right disposition in order to actually achieve your goals.
And if my goal is to live on a beach, Ian, I must get those same exact dispositions that you just mentioned in order to achieve that goal? Yes or
Yeah,
no?
yeah. You couldn't be cowardly, you couldn't be foolish, you couldn't be unjust, you couldn't be intemperate. Yeah, all these things are incompatible with a good life.
No, 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 no. If my definition of a good life is living on a beach, Ian, as many people live that life,
Mm.
are you
Then
saying
this
the
is
same
a this is
that
actually a
it's
self-defeating notion of a good life. This presupposes that a good life, that like the goal of life is to just get something and then that's it. No, your life is an active process. It's a continuing process. The idea that you just need to achieve this thing and sustain it causes a breakdown of normativity. That means that reasoning is impossible because all of your reasons would descend from this one conception. So if what you're saying was true, then anyone who achieves this conception would just have no reason to do anything, and that's obviously not true.
no, no, no. I'm
Then it's
Ian,
not the ultimate end.
I think you just misconstrued. So okay, so it's not the ultimate end. The Everyone has a different ultimate end though. Can we agree
No?
on that?
Nope.
I'm sorry. So not everyone's okay, so everyone has the same ultimate end, Ian?
Yeah, which is living well, yeah.
Okay, and if what I understand that already, Ian. Now, but do you understand that the definition of living well is different in every single human being on this planet?
Within certain necessary guidelines, different
No,
people have different
there is
conceptions of
no.
what a good life is for them. Every single one of them is going to require the virtuous dispositions that I've outlined. There's no good life that rejects any of those virtues.
Is that your opinion or fact?
No, that's a fact.
Fact based off of
Logic.
logic.
Yeah. I've outlined already why justice would be required for self respect and why self respect would be required to live a good life. I've outlined why courage is necessary in order to achieve any of your ends. It would also be necessary for self respect, insofar as lacking courage would disrespect your goals that you've set for yourself, as would temperance, being intemperate would be a disrespect towards the goals that you yourself have set for yourself. And all of these things, the way you balance all of them comes down to wisdom. If you're unwise in your balancing of the virtues and you're figuring out of what to do when, then you're doomed to fail with all of them. That's why all of them are necessary in order to live any good life.
I will I will interject with the one thing you mentioned about courage. You said that there's too much, you fall flat. If there's not enough, you're not going to achieve your goal. So the reason I'm going to interject with that, Ian, is because I probably have a overly large amount of courage, much more than the average person. And I can tell you that solely because of that and my belief that God works in the best of ways, have I achieved the ultimate goal, which is my goal of time and location freedom. So, had I maintained I guess what you call a balanced amount of courage in the middle, I don't think I would have achieved this,
So you'd say
right?
that you have the right amount of courage?
No, I have a overly large, abnormal amount
Sure.
of
So you
courage.
have the wrong amount of courage. Is that correct?
Why would it be wrong if I have
You said it
achieved?
wasn't the right amount. That entails that
No,
it's the
no,
wrong amount. Is it, do
no.
you have the right amount of courage?
Do I have? There is I have a large amount of
Is it the
courage
right amount of courage?
for the goals that I want in my life. Absolutely.
Oh, then that's great. Then you have the right amount of the disposition. So you have the virtue. What a great demonstration. You know, you have the proper disposition
But
in
Ian,
order to live a good life.
okay, but Ian, you what you mentioned was if someone is over courageous,
Mhm.
they will not get to their goal.
Yeah, it's
Every,
about having the right amount of it.
no, no, it's not.
Yes,
I'm
yes, it is. That's what a virtue is.
okay, and so if I had the level of courage, the right amount of courage that society told me to place towards the end goal that
Not
I,
society. Society's irrelevant.
what do you mean? That's your belief. You believe in society over God. That
No, I
is
don't.
not you.
I'm a moral realist.
You're a moral
I
realist.
think morals are objective, nothing to do with relativity or society.
Okay, so I understand your point of view. Now I actually see how you see this. So one quick before I ask,
Mhm.
moral realism. Say that definition for me one more time.
Yeah, moral realism just believes that there's stance independent moral truths. So the stance independent moral truths, in my view, is that you ought develop a disposition towards virtue, a disposition towards courage, a disposition towards temperance, a disposition towards wisdom. You ought do all of these things.
And if you don't,
Then you can't live a good life, which is everybody's end. So you would be self-contradicting.
and that good life's definition is based off of what?
So everyone has a starting point in their desires. Everyone aims at specific things. As you hone your understanding of the virtue, your conception of a good life is going to also narrow in. A good life is just one that, all things considered from a wise perspective, would be worth living. And the way you determine what your good life is, what the good life is by determining, by becoming wise, becoming virtuous. That's how you hone in on whether or not the life that you're living can actually constitute a good life.
And the wisdom comes from.
The wisdom comes from development of various virtues, reflecting on why doing one thing is the right thing to do in a specific situation. It's developed like a skill, like a piano player who practices specific maneuvers or specific, like, I don't know what the fuck piano players do. Um, the way that it gets developed is you think about cases. You know, this person is courageous, this person is courageous. These are two very different cases, though. You know, you might say Alexander the Great is courageous. You might say Rosa Parks is courageous. You might say, I don't know, who's somebody, you might say like Schindler is courageous. These are three very different lives. So you reflect what makes each courageous. Why are they courageous? What's the underlying thing that all of them have that they're able to apply in these various situations? You reflect on the right thing to do, and through that, you develop like a skill, various virtuous dispositions.
And Ian, what if people don't get the experiences necessary in life that would be needed in order to reflect on what's needed, because there's various things that you need to actually experience and reflect on before you reach a certain level of wisdom and virtuous, right? For you to live a good life. What if they can't acquire those experiences? Where do they get them?
Then they won't live a good life. If you don't
Well,
have
that's incorrect, Ian,
virtuous
because
conceptions, if
okay,
you don't have the right amount of courage, if you're
but this is
reckless, if
your
you're
basis. You're correct.
cowardly, if you're unjust, then you lack like the ability to self-reflect, which means that you're going to lack the ability to have self-respect, genuine, true self-respect, then you're not going to live a good life. If your
Okay,
virtue, if your dispositions are out of whack, then you're not going to live a good life.
but that wasn't my question. My question was, because we all know all human beings aren't given these same experiences, aren't given the same opportunities
Mhm.
to go through specific things which would allow them to reflect and gain this wisdom. How else would they gain the wisdom then?
Well, you need to do it through experiences. There's no other way.
The Bible.
No. The Bible's a horrible guidebook to what's just. We already discovered this.
And this is what you don't understand. So, Ian, okay, so again, I was an atheist my entire life up
Hmm.
until 3 years ago. Again, we're going to go into personal experience here. There are experiences I did not have that the Bible brought me wisdom to in my
Hmm.
life, and because of that wisdom that was brought to me through the Bible, when I had that experience for the first time, it was managed correctly because of the wisdom I gained through the Bible. So, how do you explain that?
Mm. I think that you can gain a lot of insight from a lot of different Bible verses, but the Bible taken as a whole is not going to help. You can do the exact same thing by reading any storybook, right? You
But
can read about the Odyssey and you can learn insights about wisdom or courage, the way they decided wisely to leave their crew behind. They asked Athena, the goddess of wisdom. You can reflect on this through fictional medium too. That's totally fine. But also, there's no way to say that you can get all of your virtues from the Bible insofar as you agree that the Bible is unjust.
not all your virtues. I did not say all.
Can you
I
get
said,
justice from the Bible?
can you get justice from the Bible?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the bears mauling boys, was that just?
No.
Okay, cool. So God is not a good standard for justice. He's not like a good role model in that regard.
From that one specific instance in which you mentioned, that would be correct. That
Mm.
doesn't invalidate the rest of the actual verses and words in the Bible that do bring wisdom and do bring that clarity
Mm.
on justice.
And the way you discern good justice from bad justice is through your practical wisdom, through the development of the disposition. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You
but the
tell
development
that
of
some
this,
verses are unjust and some verses are just based on reflecting and developing a conception of justice. This is the exact precise thing that I'm talking about.
I think you're I don't think you have the full picture, Ian. So you're again, how would someone who isn't exposed to all of the experiences that you've been exposed to get that wisdom?
How would somebody who isn't exposed to these experiences, who's only ever read the Bible, know that the boys bears verse is unjust? How would they know that?
Because they would read the various other verses in the Bible that point towards situations that were not that had the same what is it called, the same flow, but did not end in the same manner. That's how.
Sure. So how are they
Yes.
going to know which ones are right?
How would they know which ones are right?
Yeah.
Based off of one, their objective morality that were given by God. Two, the the wisdom that they gained through reading the Bible, through understanding God. That's kind of it, actually. You
But
don't
the
really know.
Bible contains the verse with the boys and the bears. If one of the criteria is the boys and the bears, a bunch of little boys getting mauled by bears, then it seems not possible to come to the conclusion that that verse is wrong because it's literally a part of the answer guide.
So you don't believe in necessary evils.
I do.
So you do believe in necessary evils. and you
Are you
believe that.
asking me if I think like evils exist necessarily? Or are you
Yes.
asking me if I think that there's like,
Yeah, yeah, that. But both kind of honestly.
oh, yeah, I do.
So if evils exist necessarily, how do you not? How do you know that that was an evil that existed necessarily?
Which one? The boys mauling bears? Yeah, that one is an evil that exists unnecessarily, in fact. And the way you can demonstrate that is just by evaluating the dispositions that get developed. The disposition to want boys to get slaughtered, innocent boys, lives taken, those dispositions are not good, just, fair dispositions. That undermines everybody's ultimate end of living well.
I can agree. So the one thing I will, again, because I can be upfront and honest and clear, I absolutely agree with you in the manner where that what you just said makes complete total sense. Obviously, getting children mauled by bears is probably not something is not something I morally agree with, and is not something I would also have done myself or have done to others.
Mhm.
But that is not enough to disprove the entire existence of a creator of this universe. It's not.
I think it is. Well, wait, are you saying like in general, like a non-biblical creator of the universe? Because I would agree. You know, there could be like a deist god. I would disprove that god in some other way.
Oh, so you don't believe there's a creator in general. I believe that.
Yeah.
So you believe in evolution.
I don't think that follows from what you said, but I do. Yeah. Like I think it's possible to be an atheist and reject evolution. I'm an atheist that accepts it, however.
Okay, Ian. I'm really intrigued, man, because I really want to understand how you went from Christian to non-Christian. Was it that this wisdom that came to you when you read the, I think, a negative, what you portray as negative parts of the Bible? Did this bring you to the conclusion that God could not be real because of the negativity?
Uh in a sense, yeah. Well, what it really was just I talked to my friends about it. They presented me logical reasons to think that God doesn't exist, like all the suffering in the world, and then I came to the conclusion that he didn't exist. Logic took me one way, so I went that way.
Okay, how does logic explain love?
What do you mean? It doesn't violate any of the laws of logic.
Okay, what are the laws of logic?
Yeah, the three classical laws of logic are the law of non-contradiction, the law of excluded middle, and the law of identity. Um, but you might expand this out by saying that there's like 16 classical logical operators. There's like and, or, exclusive or, not, is, and then there's like a whole bunch others, you know, whatever. In terms of those, uh, I think love doesn't violate any of those, so I'm not really sure what the problem would be.
So, okay, you're talking about the laws of logic. My question is okay, briefly explain love to me within the laws of logic.
Love is going to be like a physical explanation. You know, it's the feeling of closeness that's caused by the release of oxytocin and serotonin towards like some sort of like bonding with a thing that you find to be highly regarded or that you regard highly.
So, okay, that's a good one. So, okay, good answer. Your whole basis on this is God was real, he would be all kind and all just. But because there are errors in the Bible which portray he is not all kind and all just, and it is not logically possible that he exists.
Yeah.
And you yourself, can you logically say that every single outcome of your life logically made sense?
I don't think that there's anything that happens in reality that violates laws of logic. So
Shit,
there's some things that I might not understand, but I don't think that there's anything that violates like a law of logic. Like I don't know what the hell is going on in like cellular biology. Like I don't get that. I would never make the claim that like cellular biology violates laws of logic.
So the three laws of logic are law of identity, law of non-contradiction, and law of excluded middle. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So without these laws, reasoning itself collapses.
Hmm.
So what is the source of these laws,
Yeah. I think they
Okay.
superimpose on difference itself. I think that they're necessitated just by the fact that some things are not other things. If we have existence and non existence, well, existence is not non existence. Um, that means that it would be a contradiction to say that something both exists and didn't exist, and that would be strictly false because these things are different.
Are you saying
Um,
God is that? What are you saying that for?
well, you're asking me where logic comes from. I'm telling you, I think that the laws of logic, are just things that we superimpose onto reality, specifically things like difference.
Originated from where?
I think difference has necessary existence because I think existence has necessary existence.
But the laws of logic, we're not talking of difference. We're talking of identity, non-contradiction, and excluded
Hmm.
middle. I'm trying to understand how what what is the origination of these laws and what makes these laws concrete.
Yeah, well, what makes them true, I'm not sure what we mean by like concrete, but what makes them true is just the fact that things are different, they're distinct. That's the truth maker for the law of non-contradiction, for example, which states that a proposition and its negation affirmed simultaneously is false. There's never a case where a thing and the opposite of that thing are true at the same time. That can't be. The reason why that is because the not operator saying that one thing is not the other thing means that you're carving out a space and you're saying that these two things are separate. They're not overlapping. They're not the same. Um, so if something exists, it doesn't not exist.
Correct.
What that means is that if something existed and didn't exist, then there would be a contradiction, and those are strictly false because you'd both be trying to include the thing but exclude the thing at the same time, and that's not possible.
And where does this come in for the argument of God not existing?
Well, you're just asking me about logic.
Yes, absolutely. But you're pointing towards existence, right? And God was existed prior to us, correct?
I don't
Or
agree
as
with that. I mean, I don't think he exists, but sure,
something
in your view, yeah.
something you don't agree with, something I do. Um, so so the whole, I mean, like this all kind of points to the origination of time and the origination of everything, because everything you're mentioning has to have an origination. You can't just come like everything has to have an origination.
Why would I think that?
Why would you think that? I think the laws of thermodynamics state that energy is forever running out. So if it always existed, it would have already ran out. And if we did not always exist, then and obviously the energy has not ran out, which means that there is a origination time period. No,
Um,
it is
that's it's the
energy.
opposite actually. The law of conservation of energy, the first law of thermodynamics says the opposite, that energy cannot be created or destroyed. Not that it's always running out, but that it's the opposite, that it never came into existence, isn't going out of existence.
Let me ensure that I said that wrong, because if I said that wrong, my apologies.
That's okay. But I
And
feel like that bodes like really poorly for God. Because what that means is that I'm inclined to think that energy just always existed. If it couldn't have come into existence and it exists right now, then I take that to just mean that it always existed.
which is exactly what I feel about God, that he always existed, which, and
Hmm.
he started this.
Hmm.
I agree. I do agree with that. God always existed. He is the original energy.
That's not what I said. I don't think that a mind that created the universe always existed. I think energy always existed.
But energy created the universe, right?
I don't think the universe was created.
You think the universe was always here.
Yeah.
So it was always here, but we understand that at its origination, it was smaller than what it is now, right?
No, that's question begging. That wasn't the origin of the universe. The universe wasn't a hot, dense state. We have no reason to think that that was like the start of it.
We have no reason to think that that was a start of it.
Yeah,
What the traditional origination, which is Big Bang Theory.
yeah, we have no reason to think that the Big Bang Theory, there's not a single piece of scientific evidence that's going to tell you that the Big Bang Theory was the start or that the Big Bang was the start.
So you're saying it's been disproven,
No, the Big Bang Theory says nothing about being the start. It just says the universe was hot dense and then it rapidly expanded.
which then created the universe that we're in now.
No, it doesn't say that.
So were all the planets here prior to that?
Nope.
So okay. So if we weren't here prior to the Big Bang, which is the other side's argument, and then the Big Bang happened,
Hmm.
and now we're here. How is what you just said true?
Yeah, because what the universe is the space-time manifold that all these like fields, these particle fields exist on. That thing didn't come into existence. That thing always existed. Um, what came into existence was energy distributed throughout these particle fields, and like the rapid expansion of the universe. The universe used to be very small, and then the rapid expansion of it allowed for things like planets and life. Life couldn't have existed in that state, but the universe itself still existed, just in a state that didn't support life.
And you believe when it got to a state that supported life that was random?
It depends what you mean by random. I
I
think it was in
mean,
line with the laws of physics.
in line with the laws of physics. The the laws of physics. So that's an interesting what you just said, because I think I just read something recently about scientists doing experiments that are showing that the laws of physics aren't concrete.
I
So,
don't know what that means.
okay, so you're referring to the laws of physics, right? Now, do you know the experiment that happened with in the I think it's
Don't say double. Don't
the
say
large
double slit
art
experiment. Okay. What was
I
it?
don't know
The
the
Large
large
Hadron Collider?
not it I don't know I don't know if it was done in that piece of technology, but there is a experiment which shows that there is what is that form there's a life form that is it shifts its actual
Don't say
it shifts when being
it.
perceived.
Fuck. God damn it. Okay, sure.
I gotta
Um, that's
it
yeah,
shifts.
that's the double slit experiment. This is a misunderstanding of the double slit
Okay, so
experiment.
tell me about it.
Um, uh, so the double slit experiment doesn't say anything about observation. What it means by observation is just like any interaction at all. So let's say that you're like the last scientist on Earth. Everybody else is gone. You're like the only mind in the universe. Um, so what it is when you have like particles interacting with like things in superposition, it takes them out of superposition. It makes them behave particle-like instead of wave-like. So let's say you're the last scientist and then you die, but before you died, you set up like the double slit experiment. It would still, despite the fact that there's no conscious observer, it would still go from behaving wave-like to behaving particle-like.
Are you saying that it is logical that that happens and not outside of the laws of physics?
Oh, we're conflating laws of physics and laws of logic, but I think it's within both of those things.
So if physics were absolute, that means we would be following deterministic laws, correct?
Hmm.
Laws that we could not veer out of.
Hmm.
It was an absolute truth. But humans make their own decisions.
I think that all of our decisions are done for reasons. I think that our brain is set in specific states based on specific inputs and then gives specific outputs.
So, so when did the laws of physics come into play?
I think they always existed.
Okay, but they couldn't have always existed if before the Big Bang Theory, no?
No, why would I believe that?
All right, I understand, Ian. I understand. Okay, so Okay. So you can't even answer that question because again, it's not your belief. Understood. Understood. Okay. I like it. See, you have granular points, but these points they still don't bring me clarity as to how God could not exist. Like I'm
Let
trying
me put it
to.
this way.
Yeah. Go.
L- Prior, do you think, okay, first thing, do you think God's knowledge can change?
Do I think God's knowledge, like God's knowledge Himself, can
Yeah, the
change?
things that God knows, can they change?
Do the things that God knows can change? Ian, I personally wouldn't think so,
Hmm.
but I also don't think that I'm infinitely knowledgeable to answer that question. Do you understand?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I can give you reasons to think that that's the case. You know, if God's outside of time, then it seems like nonsense to say that his knowledge changes insofar as that would require different knowledge at different times. So that doesn't seem compatible, which is why most philosophers would think that God's knowledge can't change.
Okay, so you're saying so the question, do I think his knowledge can change? And the basis of this is throughout history, there's been changes in the way God has gone about things. Is that where you're getting?
No, 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 no. I haven't even given the argument yet. I'm just like, let's just establish like a criteria that you agree God's knowledge can't change, that it's the same as it's always been.
Understood. I agree.
Sure. Does God know that the universe exists?
Yes.
Okay. Did God know the universe existed prior to creating it?
Did he know he was going to bring it into
No. I
existence?
no. Did he know that it existed?
But why would it exist prior to him creating it?
Exactly. So he didn't know that it existed. So then his knowledge changed. He went from not knowing that it existed to knowing that it existed.
That's if and only if your perception on how God perceives and learns and brings knowledge through his brain is correct. That's only if your perception is if God thinks like us. And that's not the case. So that question doesn't even have basis. It
No, it
can't.
does.
It can't because you don't even believe in him anymore. You don't even. How could you possibly tell me how how God puts knowledge through his brain when you yourself don't think he's real? How could you understand something in full if you don't even believe it in full?
Mm,
I could have never gotten to this life if I didn't believe that this life was real. The life I live right now, Ian, a lot of people don't think is real. Do you understand? So
mm.
how are you giving the basis to this question if you don't even actually believe in that existence? You
It's an
can't
internal critique.
you can't put your question isn't couldn't possibly be 100% viable because you don't even fully understand what you're questioning
I do.
because of your lack of belief. You do not. There's
I
no way
do.
you do.
Then you should easily be able to explain where the flaw in the reasoning is. You know,
The flaw in the
prior to
reasoning.
God creating the universe, he would know that the universe doesn't exist. After creating it, he would know that it does exist. That's a change. God's knowledge can't change.
That's your prerogative, Ian. I didn't say that.
Which part of that do
That's
you disagree with?
that's the part of it. The part that I disagree with is that God is all knowing. He created
Oh,
everything.
then you just reject the Bible. Yeah. If you disagree that God's all knowing.
No, no, no. I said I agree with God being all knowing.
Okay.
I agree.
Maybe there was a miscommunication. I'm asking, like, which part of the argument do you disagree with?
The part of the argument that I disagree with, I don't even disagree. And I'm telling you, your question doesn't have basis because you think that you understand how God thinks and you don't. So what you're asking doesn't have an answer because you could not possibly understand how God thinks. And these are the things that I am actually okay with. And these are the things that you guys are not okay with. You guys think that there needs to be a concrete, what is it called? No, not a concrete, I'm sorry, a human based logical evidence when Humans are flawed.
Hmm.
Humans are corrupted. The human brain is imperfect, and me and you can agree on this. The human brain, can you agree with me on that or no?
That it's imperfect?
Yeah.
Yeah, it totally can. Is God outside of logic?
Is God outside of logic?
Yeah.
Is logic created from man or God?
I don't know. That's a matter of your worldview. Do you think it's created from man or from God?
Logic. So, logic for me is how I came to the conclusion that God must be real from
Does
logic.
does God violate like the law of excluded middle, for example?
Does God violate the law of excluded middle?
Yeah.
Every proposition must be true or false. There's no fuzzy middle. Either God exists or he doesn't. Either justice is real or isn't. Okay. Does he violate this?
Yeah.
Does he violate him existing
Not
and not?
existing. The question that I'd ask is, would you would agree that either he knows, so prior to creating, either he knows the universe exists or he doesn't. If he knows that it exists prior to creating it, then he knows a false thing because that's not true. The
But
alternative is
again,
that he doesn't know it. So therefore, we would conclude that he must not know the universe exists.
this is under the basis that you think that you understand how God thinks and you understand that how God operates in a 100%.
How does
But
that
you
presuppose that?
that presupposes that because
Does God know things? Does he not know things? Is that
you're
where I'm
trying
going
to
wrong?
put you're trying to put human logic onto the creator of the universe.
So God is outside of logic, to
Isn't
clarify.
it? Isn't it? Okay, God is outside of human logic. I
Mhm.
do think so. Yes.
Okay, so you would say that God can violate the law of non-contradiction?
Truth can't both be true and false at the same time in the same way. Without this law, rational conversation, science, and morality becomes news. Okay.
Can God violate that one?
Can God violate that one?
Mhm.
Is that the question? Can God violate the law of non contradiction?
Yeah.
Okay, but I think, okay, there's more. Okay, I think you have to ask a deeper because can he violate the law of non contradiction? Is like, I think you understand what I'm trying to say, dude. God can do anything. So
Hmm.
the law of non contradiction, where is the origination of the law of non contradiction?
In my worldview or in yours?
In yours.
I've already explained this. I think it derives from difference itself. But so God can violate the law of non-contradiction.
That's a that's a good one because what I'm reading is truth can't be both true and false, which I think there's a couple of instances in which even here on the earth that there's things that are both true and false. No?
Like what?
Okay. I don't think something can be both true and false at the same time.
Uh,
Can God violate this?
Yeah, does God have the power to make something both true and false at the same time?
Sorry, guys. I know I write fast.
It's okay.
Ah, this is a good one. Can he violate that law? Sorry, I'm taking a long time to
That's okay.
answer. Um, okay, I don't I he doesn't okay, so he doesn't he's only the truth. God is the truth, the way and the light. So I don't think it's I don't think he does violate. I don't think he does. Do you understand? I don't think he does violate that law.
Sure. So you do think that God is within the laws of logic?
I think God is within the laws of God. The thing is with this question is that I can agree with you that we cannot make what's true is what's true and what's false is what's false. Correct.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. It's it's like a hard logically in my head, just like you, Ian, because I'm here and I'm over the world, I'm in my mind. I do not think God would.
But can he?
I believe God can do anything that he wants. So
Oh.
yes.
Even do a contradiction?
A contradiction to our to what a perception of a contradiction to the human mind, yes.
So does God have the power to make the sun both exist and not exist simultaneously?
So do you know this answer, Ian? So
I
okay.
think, well, I think that there's already been like a blender. I think saying God can violate logic is itself a blunder for this exact reason. I think at that point you just have to reject all logic. Because if God can violate logic, then he just has the power to make the sun both exist and not exist at the exact same time. And that means that the law of non-contradiction is false.
And the law of non-contradiction originates from.
Difference itself for the third time. But do you think God has the power to make the sun both exist and not exist?
I do. Here on this earth, I think we as humans, if it was a possibility, we couldn't perceive it. But I myself think God can do that.
Okay.
Yes.
So you
Would
think
we
that
would we
contradictions are
know
possible?
would we do I think contradictions are possible?
Yeah.
I mean, we both understand contradictions are here in our everyday life in our world, no?
Like what?
Okay. Okay, maybe I'm more or less going towards surface level contradictions, not absolute truth contradictions.
Yeah, like a contradiction is not when something doesn't make sense or when you don't understand something. Contradictions are where a thing and its opposite are being affirmed at the exact same time. You
I
know,
don't
the
believe.
ball isn't a color, the ball is red. That would be a contradiction.
Correct. I agree. And I can agree with you. I don't think that is a possibility for me. Like, I can't
Hmm.
tell you this is full of water. It's not.
Is it possible for God to make a ball that doesn't have color but is red?
Is it possible
Yep.
for God? So, for my mind, no. I don't believe it is possible for a ball to not have a color and then be red.
So you don't think
Do
God has the power to do that?
I do. I do think
Oh,
power to
well,
do
then
that.
that's a contradiction.
But here's the problem. Wouldn't you also say then that the the humans who are, I mean, there's various, right? So okay, let's go back seldomly, quickly. Cancer. You
But
say
I'm sorry,
that.
wait, before we move on, can we acknowledge that that was like a contradiction?
Okay, yes, I can acknowledge that as a
Sure.
contradiction, but I'm trying to
Yep.
get to the
Yeah,
point as to.
cancer. Yeah, what about it?
So you think, right? Would you say right now, can we cure cancer?
I don't think so.
But is it a yes or no?
To the best of my knowledge, no.
Okay, so did you follow the Dr. Sebi trial?
Nope.
Okay, well, Dr. Sebi cured
Wait, sorry,
cancer.
is this relevant to God?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about contradictions because you just mentioned yourself that you believe in concrete fact that cancer can be cured, right?
Are you just saying that there's like a contradiction in my worldview related to like something other than God?
Well, yeah, I need to show you that
Oh,
you're.
wait, then that's not relevant, right? Like it's a God debate. You know, if you want to debate me about God, then debate me about God. This isn't like an open forum to debate me about like every
Well,
belief that I
here I'm
hold.
getting to the depth of it, Ian. Remember, You are
Do
not all
you
knowing.
is this going
You,
to have anything to
so
do with
Ian, you're
God
asking
or
me contradictions are possible, but you believe in contradictions. Do you not? I'm trying to get there for
yeah,
you.
and that's
You
wait, so if there's a
yourself.
contradiction in my worldview, then that's false.
So I don't think you understand where I'm going. So you think that you understand God in full.
If I look up this like Dr. Sebi guy, is there going to be a page on his Wikipedia that's titled like,
Ian,
criticism
you're
backlash
going to see
or
that he was in the Supreme Court and he proved that he cured cancer. That's what you'll see. You'll
ooh,
see Supreme Court
yeah,
evidence.
let's see
Is
it.
actually, yeah, just you can just Google it, brother. So
Controversy, sure.
yes, so the reason I'm mentioning this is because you yourself have ideas and ideologies that are not correct and are contradictions. So for you to tell me that these laws, right? Because again, you're flawed. Your thinking is flawed. You couldn't possibly understand all of this in full because you don't even understand that we can cure cancer. So this is one. Okay. Now, um, I'm trying to get you to understand that you actually couldn't
Oh,
possibly. Yep. Continue.
yeah,
Oh, my
apparently
bad.
the court ruled that he was wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah, that
No,
his
no,
claims
no.
were unsubstantiated. Yeah, in an effort to stop Bowman's false. Okay, wait, I'll read this from the top. Um, this is a banger Wikipedia page. Uh,
You're
Dr.
talking about
Sebi is a controversial Honduran herbalist who practiced in the United States from the 20th to early 21st century. Bowman falsely professed to cure all diseases with herbs and plant-like alkaline diet based on various pseudoscientific claims and denied. I can't say either of those words. He set up treatment center in Honduras, then moved his practice to New York City and Los Angeles. Numerous entertainment and acting celebrities were among his clients, including Michael Jackson, Lisa Lopes, John Travolta. Although he used the title and name Dr. Sebi, Bowman had not completed any formal medical training. He was considered a quack by licensed doctors, attorneys, and consumer protection agencies in the United States. He was arrested and accused by New York State of practicing medicine without a license. After trial, Bowman was acquitted based on legal definition of medicine for his herbs. He was later charged in a civil suit that resulted in him being prohibited from making therapeutic claims for his supplements. So it sounds like what happened is that it fit the definition of medicine in the broad sense, but because none of it did anything, because it was like bullshit, he wasn't allowed to continue to make like therapeutic claims.
and this is where again your basis of everything is worldly knowledge. If it is disproven from worldly knowledge, disproven from what is this called? How do I say this? From the industry, from the market, from the market experts, then it's not true.
Well, just from the courts.
But okay, okay, Ian, the courts. Do you believe every court is fair
You
and
wait,
just?
sorry, to be clear, you cited courts earlier. Either courts are good evidence or they aren't. You can't backpedal on
Solid,
citing like the Supreme Court.
solid, solid. You're absolutely right. You're right. I can't. You're absolutely right. Okay, all right. You get W on that one. How do you explain this live medical doctor right here called Dr. William Mackis, who's a Canadian physician who has proven to clear cancer through ivermectin, fenbenzidol, and menbenzidol, and he has public case studies.
Are you talking about like
Public
the worm, the dewormer? We still doing this one?
ivermectin. Yeah. My question is, how do you disprove this MD, this medical doctor, who
What's
has
his
all of
name?
he has all of the qualifications that you would listen to,
What's
but
his?
he's
Well, I
going.
don't listen to somebody if they're like a disgraced person. I listen to
But
the evidence.
but your definition of a disgraced person doesn't make Dr. William Mackis, a Canadian physician, a disgraced person.
Hmm.
Just because he
What
has more,
evidence does he have for his
he
claims?
actually has more qualifications than you on this. So
Physician, doctor, what is his
you calling
name?
him a disgraced
Makis? How do you
person
spell his
before
name?
you calling him a disgraced person before you even understand who he
Wait,
is. First of all,
can we skip the
yeah, yeah,
grandstanding?
yeah.
What's
His
his
name is
name?
Dr. William Mackis.
William
Yep.
M
Makis. Okay, Dr.
A
William
I
Mackis.
S.
Yes. So this is someone with far more education than you. Someone who actually
Doctor William
William Mackis.
Makis,
Makis. Yep.
a
So
radiologist.
yes.
Uh,
So
is not licensed to practice medicine in Alberta. Okay, apparently he's unlicensed.
I
That's the first thing
understand.
that comes up
So
is
you're you see, this is where it's always going to come in between a hard place with you, Ian. You believe in the traditional system more than you do anything else. But we also know the traditional system profits from death. We also know the traditional system profits from poisoning us through our food. We also know the traditional system um, has a predatory educational system which will put people in extreme debt that they can't get out of in the name of education. So we know the traditional system in every single way is flawed,
who do you
but
think
your
is behind
soul,
the traditional system?
who do I think is behind the traditional system?
Hmm. Yeah, who do you think is covering all this stuff up?
That that oh, wait a minute. Do you agree with what I just said or no? Do we know that
No, I don't. In fact, I think it's self-defeating. Who do you think is like the one who's doing all of this like corruption and deception?
who do I think?
Yeah.
So if you follow a paper trail to the top, it's the top of society. What explain to me?
How do you know that the top of society didn't replace the Bible with their power to manufacture all these scientific studies?
Because when I read the Bible, nothing about the Bible brings me to society. Nothing about the Bible brings me closer to anything that this society wants me to do. So that's how I understand that in full.
And how do you
Everything
know
that the
that they're
Bible,
not doing that to manufacture you as a scapegoat for nefarious ends that are just beyond our comprehension?
well, Ian, this nefarious end of me living happily every day with a positive mentality, it
Away
seems
from
like
society.
it seems like a pretty Ian, I don't think you actually so I provide value to society.
Oh, I thought you were away from society. Maybe, well, how do you know that they didn't manufacture the Bible to produce all these people who add value to society?
How do I know they didn't manufacture the Bible?
Yeah, with their power to like manufacture a bunch of fake stuff. How do you know they didn't manufacture it in order to produce all these people who add value to the society?
And are you saying that's a bad thing?
I'm asking you, how do you know that the Bible isn't a manufactured thing by the elites?
We're because the elites kill us. The elites poison us through our food.
Mhm.
The elites miseducate us. And these are
Mhm.
all things me and you can
And how
agree
do you
with.
know that the Bible isn't a part of that miseducation?
Because the Bible doesn't draw me to the elites. The Bible draws me completely away from the elites. It's
But it
very
makes you
simple.
add value to society. How do you know that they
The,
didn't manufacture
the,
it to
Bi-
make you add value to society?
the Bible brings me away from the
Mhm.
elites, and the Bible brings me into a state of mind, a loving state of mind, a
Mhm.
positive, happy state of
Mhm.
mind. So, why do I believe the elites did not create that? Because the elites do everything besides that. So
But
it
wouldn't
wouldn't
they
make
want you
sense.
to add value to society?
Wouldn't they want me to add value through society? But you just said, wouldn't the Bible, if they curated it, be for their own means and for their own gain? But
Yeah. If their
I
means is
have
adding value to society and the Bible does that, couldn't they manufacture it?
the means isn't adding value to society. I'm telling you what the Bible did to me. You asked me what the Bible did to me. You asked
Yeah.
me. You asked me
Yeah.
what. Okay, if they created it, if they curated it, wouldn't it be to get you to do what you're doing right now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like how do well, it's not
So okay, so
what
let's
I'm
explain.
asking is how do you know that that's not the case?
How do I know that they did not curate it?
Yeah, that they
Because
didn't manufacture the Bible as a bunch of lies to get people to be value adding citizens in society.
so do you not like that there are value adding citizens in
Sorry,
society?
this isn't an answer to the question. How do you know that they didn't manufacture it? If they have the power
But
to manufacture all
the
of these
question
fake
has to have a
things, how do you know that they didn't Do you think they had the power to manufacture the Bible?
Wait, but that question, ask the question again. You said, "How do I know they didn't manufacture the Bible in order to get people to add value to society?"
Yeah.
Don't you want to add value to society?
Yeah, I do, but that's not an answer to my
So,
question.
but that your question is illogical because
No,
adding
it's not.
value to society is a positive thing, and the elites
Yeah.
are not positive people.
You think
So
they're just
what you're
evil?
saying?
Wait, do you think that they want society to be better or to be worse?
Do you think they want society to be better or worse?
I don't even know who the elites are, to be perfectly honest with you. That just sounds like a boogeyman. But setting that
You can
aside, right?
follow. You can
We're
go.
talking about your conspiratorial beliefs. I don't
Okay,
hold
so
any
the
of
elites are
these.
the company owners of BlackRock, Vanguard, the people who are in charge of Nestle, the people who are in charge of our food, the people who are in charge of our transportation. Those are the elites. Very simple. You can actually go follow them and actually see their names. You
Mhm.
can see the Rockefeller family. You can see all of these names. So you're saying you don't know is a lie because you're well educated.
No,
You've
I don't
probably done
know.
this.
I'm not sure who these people
Well,
are.
that
I mean,
so
I'm familiar with
if
like the
you don't
countries,
know,
I'm
then you don't
familiar with
even
like
have a
some
bait.
negative
If you
aspects
don't,
of them, but what I'm certainly
so
not
if
going to
you
do is
don't
believe a
know,
conspiracy
Ian,
theory. And it's
you can't even.
self-defeating by the fact you can't even answer the
But Ian,
question.
you're uneducated in the subject.
You've
Well, you
dodged the
can't ask the
question four
question if
times
you're
now.
uneducated.
Do you want to
You
keep
just
dodging it
asked,
or do you want to answer?
Ian.
How
You
do
can't.
you know that the elites didn't manufacture the Bible in a plot to make
I just
you add
told you
value?
because
How
the
do you know?
Bible makes humans do positive
Mhm,
things, and the elites are not positive.
mhm.
Very simple.
And how do you know that they wouldn't want this for some nefarious goal?
How do I know that the elites don't want positivity to end in their nefarious
Yeah.
goal?
What if it made you passive? You said you spend all day on the beach. What if that's what the elites want?
No, 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 no. I said I've lived in Bali,
Uh-huh.
Indonesia, and I mentioned the beach to mention that there are some people who wish for just that lifestyle, and
Hmm.
that's their definition of living well,
Hmm. And
not your
how do you
definition.
know that the elites didn't manufacture the Bible to give you the dispositions that you have now, to live the life that you have now towards some nefarious end that is beyond your comprehension?
Okay, Ian, what's the nefarious end that's beyond my
It's beyond our
comprehension?
comprehension. They're deceivers, dude. Look at all the things that they've deceived us about. They've deceived us about healthcare, about nutrition. They've deceived us about so many things.
So do
So
you not? So
how do
are do
you
you think that they
know that they
haven't?
didn't manufacture the Bible to deceive us about something?
Wait, so are you saying that
I'm
they
asking you.
didn't
I'm
do
not
these
saying
things?
anything. I'm asking
I
you.
know you're not because you don't have the education and the
I'm
knowledge. You're
asking
just
you,
traditionally
how do you
educated.
know that they didn't
You're
manufacture
traditionally
the
educated,
Bible?
Ian. You're
Calm
traditionally
down, answer
educated.
the question, stop
Well,
dodging.
the problem is the answer to that question doesn't matter because you're asking that question
Okay.
without enough knowledge.
Here's what
You
we're
don't have
going
enough.
to do. We're going to put behind me a
Okay.
notepad and I'm going to write the question out and you're going
Okay.
to answer the question or not. And if
Okay.
you don't answer the question, then we'll just record the number of times that you dodge.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
here's the question.
Yes.
The question.
See, guys in the comments, guys, you can't just answer every question. You can't just answer every question. You have to get notions. You have to get bases. This is what a lot of you guys don't understand. And it's okay. It's okay, guys. Don't worry about it. This is why you guys are watching us. Ian, you're good at the questions, but again, you're well prepared, and it's good. It's good. I'm glad. And the thing is, though, a lot of your questions are they lack basis. A lot of these questions are based off of the notion that you are correct in what you're saying, and you can't be. You
Okay.
can't be.
So the question, how do you know the elites didn't manufacture the Bible to deceive you for some nefarious purpose that we don't understand?
How do I know the elites didn't manufacture the Bible to deceive you for some nefarious purpose we don't understand? So one thing, first things first, I believe the elites are nefarious. One,
Hmm?
boom. So why do I know that they didn't manufacture the Bible for a nefarious person? It's
Purpose.
because purpose, because I myself have yet to receive a nefarious experience or thought process from reading the Bible.
Mhm. And why would they want you to receive that instead of making you passive? If you believe fairy tales, then you'll be passive. The elites could use that. How do you know that the elites didn't manufacture your passivity
Very well.
for
If you're
reasons that you don't understand?
Because I understand the elites and I've done the research on their beliefs and their bases and their
Do they want
beliefs.
a
And
passive population or a not passive
you got to let me
population?
answer the question. You
Yeah,
can't keep interrupting me.
sure.
Got to let me answer. So I said, because I've done my research on the elites and their belief system, along with their end goals, do not align with the Bible.
How
Very
do you
simple.
know that what you read was an accurate reflection of what the elites believe and that it wasn't just a manufactured falsehood by the elites?
No. Again, what you just said doesn't make sense, because it is, oh, what I read is an accurate reflection of what the okay, understood. How do I know what I read is accurate
That they
about
didn't
the?
just manufacture that.
Oh, because you don't need to really, because this is all self-evident. If the elites were actually not nefarious, like the text says, then we wouldn't have poison in our food, and we wouldn't have people getting into predatory debt, and we wouldn't have the homeless, because we all know that can be solved because there's more than enough money in the world for that. We wouldn't have all these things. So that's how I do understand that that text is true, because if it was untrue, the actions of the elites would be here very evident in the world, and the world would be a better place. And again, if God didn't exist, like you said, he doesn't exist, and the people of this world are the only thing that do exist, and the people of this world actually have the power to make this better, then we understand the world's not getting better. Why? Because the world's evil.
How do you know that the elites didn't manufacture the line that there's poison in our food, and the line that they're like that they bought up all the houses? And how do you know
Well, because
that
I've
all the
eaten,
people aren't just like
because I've
Hollywood
eaten,
actors? How do you
because
know that
I've
they didn't
eaten, because I've,
manufacture all of this in order to
well, it's not
deceive?
manufactured, Ian, when you can go eat McDonald's and feel like trash. It's not, what do you mean? There's real life evidence all around us.
But how do you
You
know that
can,
they don't just poison your McDonald's specifically to throw you off the trail of the real conspiracy, the time cube?
well, because I've had McDonald's in Thailand, I've had McDonald's in
How do you
Indonesia,
know
I've had
the elites
McDonald's
have
in
the power
Spain.
over to control all of that? How do
Ian,
you
I have
know
a
that they aren't
question.
just trying to
Wait, I have a
keep you
question. Have you ever traveled?
distracted in
Have you
order to
traveled
cover
outside of
up
the
the
United
time
States,
cube?
Ian? Ian, have you traveled outside of the United States ever in your
I've
entire life?
never traveled outside of it. I don't know why you're so
Okay,
desperate to
then,
get
dude.
away from
And
this.
here's
Calm
the large
down. You're
basis.
getting
See, this is the
excited. Just
problem.
calm down. It's going to be okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm
I just
sorry. I'm
want an
sorry.
answer.
You're
How
right.
do
You're
you
right. Okay,
know
so
that
Ian,
the elites didn't manufacture all of
I need to
this
I
in
need to bring you
order
further
to
knowledge,
leave
Ian. Ian, you
you
have, okay.
distracted from the true
I'm gonna.
reality of the time cube?
How do I know the elites did this? Because Ian, I've been to more places in this
Mhm,
earth than you have.
mhm.
I've spoken to more people with different backgrounds and different cultures and different experiences than you
How
have.
do you know they
I've
weren't
been
just
edu- wait,
Hollywood actors
wait,
planted by the
wait a second,
elites?
sir. Sir, wait a
Mhm,
second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second, sir. I have more life experience than you. Plain and simple. There
W ad
doesn't.
hom. Let's go.
That's just the truth. So you're telling me, how do I know this, and how don't you know
How do you know
this?
that those people weren't Hollywood actors that were planted by the elite for nefarious purposes?
What people, Ian?
That all the people you talked to, all the people you interacted with.
How do I know that the people in Indonesia and
Yeah,
in
weren't
Thailand?
Hollywood actors planted by the elites to throw you off the trail.
Why are you asking an illogical question?
Why is it illogical? What's the contradiction?
Because if that question is solid, how do I know that everyone in this entire building that I live in?
Yes. Yeah, you can't know anything if you're a conspiracy theorist. You stumbled into it. You can't know anything as a conspiracy theorist.
I'm not a conspiracy
You
theorist.
are.
Ian, you have yet to even travel outside of your home country.
Hmm?
You don't have the experience, the wisdom, the knowledge necessary to ever call me a conspiracy theorist.
How do
Because
you
I
know that the
genuinely,
elites didn't manufacture the voice clip of me saying that? How do you know that I actually said that and that this wasn't just a hallucination that the elites gave you via some drug?
how do I know this? Because I can reflect on the times where I can feel that I wasn't hallucinating. And in
Hmm.
that same exact time period where that did happen, I felt the same way as those other times where I wasn't hallucinating.
Mm.
That's the answer.
But how do you know that your memories weren't just planted by the thing that the elites gave you?
How do I know my memories aren't just planted by the things that the elites gave me?
Mm?
Because every single memory that I have
So you
originated.
have the memories.
I got to
I'm
answer.
asking you how you know that these are real and not just planted.
How do I know my memories are real and not planted, Ian? How do
Yeah,
you
by
know
the
your memories
elites.
are? Wait, how do
Wait,
you know
don't
your
dodge.
memories?
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. This isn't a problem with my worldview.
But the thing is, I'm not a conspiracy theorist either, so it
You
isn't a
are.
problem with your worldview either. That's the
You
thing.
are.
I am the same. I feel the same conviction in what I'm saying as you do as well. So that doesn't. This is the thing you don't understand. You don't get superiority just because of your worldview. That's
But
not
what
how
I
this
do
works.
have,
You don't.
one
You
thing that I
don't.
don't have is a deceiver in my worldview. There's no powerful deceiver in my worldview that leads to collapse of all knowledge. There is a deceiver in your worldview that leads to collapse of all knowledge.
There is a deceiver in my worldview that leads to the collapse of all knowledge.
Yep.
And how does it lead to the collapse of all
Yeah,
knowledge?
because you can't know anything wasn't just planted by the elites. You can't know that I'm not a Hollywood actor planted by the elites. You can't know
That
that
who?
they didn't just like give you some medication that's causing you to hallucinate for whatever nefarious purposes. You have no idea that
Guys,
you didn't
Ian
just
said
eat
it
like some
himself.
McDonald's that like poisoned you and makes you
Ian,
hallucinate.
Ian, you just kind of pointed something out. I don't know that you're a part of the elite planted by Hollywood.
Mhm,
You pointed that out, not me. Okay,
mhm.
so now let me spin this. So you're asking me that question, and I gave you the answer. What is your answer to that same
Yeah,
exact
I would appeal
question?
to phenomenal conservatism that you're justified in believing your seemings unless you have a reason to think otherwise. I don't have a reason to think that my seemings are inaccurate. You do.
And so you're telling me that I do have a reason.
Yeah, you believe that there's like this powerful deceiver, powerful enough to manufacture all the studies in existence, powerful enough to manufacture. They control the foods. They're putting stuff into our foods. You can't rule out any of this. I can rule
Are
out
you
all of it.
saying? But I never pointed that towards God. I pointed that towards humans.
Didn't say God. You wanted to
You're
derail away
talking
from
about an
God. You took us away from God. We're not talking
you
about God
said all
anymore.
powerful deceiver. The
Just a,
only
I said
all
very powerful. Maybe I said all powerful.
you said
Just a
all
powerful
powerful,
deceiver.
which directed direct to God because there's only one person
Hmm.
that's all powerful.
I'm just
That's
talking
why
about
I
a
meant.
powerful deceiver. Doesn't need to be all powerful.
So how do I know?
They have the power over your food. They have the power over your house. They have the
Yeah.
power. They have access to your spaces. They have the power over your media. They have the power over all of this, and they have their nefarious intentions.
Yes, that's correct.
Mhm.
And you're saying, how do I know that my memories and my experiences are a direct result
Yeah,
from
that they
that
didn't
power?
just plant something in the last meal that you had with their ability to control all food.
Well, because logic states that I got on a plane and I flew 30 hours and I chose where I was going to live and I brought my wife and son with me and I did these actions. I wasn't, I don't think that the elites want someone to preach positivity and self sustainability and eating healthy because the elites market everything besides that.
Mhm.
So logic states if you follow the end outcomes of the actions that the elites have been taking on us, the end outcomes aren't positive. And everything I've done and everything I've experienced was positive and was of my own will. So that's the answer.
Yeah, that's what the elites want you to think. They
But
want you to
now you're just
think that
talking
this is like
semantics, Ian. Now,
it's
now
the
you don't
it's
have an answer.
they're
Now
covering up
you're
the time
talking
cube.
semantics.
It's all there. The clues are all there. We don't live on one
You're
Earth. We live
you're
on.
you're
There's
literally
four
talking
separate days
semantics,
happening in each day. They want you to. The
Ian.
elites want you to believe that there's 24 hours in a day, and that's not true.
Brother,
There's 96 hours every day, and the elites are covering it up.
brother, you never even traveled outside of the United States. Do you
That's what
not
the elites want
understand
you to
how
think.
large of a
They want you to
problem that
think
is?
that
Do you not understand how
the
large of
elites.
a problem that
You
you
haven't
have
even
one
traveled outside of
world
your day.
perspective?
The elites want you to
Brother,
think that.
Ian, you're talking to someone who has multiple world perspectives and you have one and you somehow think
That's
you
what
can
the elites
maintain.
want you to think. They're
Man,
covering it up. They're covering up the time cube.
this is that semantic stuff.
They're
Okay, so
they don't want you to
this
hear
is
about the
what
time
happens.
cube.
This is what happens when you show someone that they cannot have a superiority complex. It's not possible. You don't have more experience than me, Ian. You don't. So the
That's
fact that
ironic.
you
Wait,
now
saying
you're
like
making so
saying
you're
you
making
don't
fun
have a
of no, it's
superiority
not because
complex because I have
you're
more
making
life
fun of an
experience than
absolute truth,
you.
Ian.
That's
Ian,
like
you're
you're
making fun of a
projecting.
concrete truth. We all can go to the
Let's.
store and see.
What is
Wait,
it?
let me. Can I finish this point? Can I finish this point,
I
please?
just need you to understand. I need you to understand the basics of the time cube. Um,
Can can
let's
I finish? Can I finish the
no, you
point?
can't because we need to get to the bottom of what the elites don't want you to know. We gotta understand that it all comes back to the time cube. If you'll see, it's spin up and sun down. Socrates lives there midday. Jesus lives here, and Einstein lives there. And I'll go ahead and explain the diagram to everybody. The elites don't want you to know about this. When the sun shines upon Earth, two major time points are created on opposite sides of the Earth, known as midday and midnight. Where the two major time forces join, synergy creates two minor time points that we recognize as sun up and sun down. The four equidistant time points can be considered as time square imprinted upon the circle of the Earth. In a single rotation of the Earth's sphere, each time corner point rotates through the other three corner time points, thus creating 16 corners, 96 hours, and 4 simultaneous 24-hour days, within a single rotation of Earth equated to a higher order of life on the time cube. That's what the elites don't want you to know this. They don't want you to see the time cube. They don't want you to understand any of it.
Anyone with true discernment and wisdom can see that you are clouded, man. You're clouded.
That's what the elites want you to think. That's what the elites would want you to say.
Ian, brother, you're going to look back at the 24-year-old you when you're 34 and you're going to realize, man, because the energy you're giving now also shows me that
you're one of them, aren't you?
You don't even have
you're a psyop. You're trying to cover up the time cube, aren't you?
Guys, you see this?
You're a psychological operation.
This is what happens when where it's broken.
You don't want us to hear about the time cube. You don't want us to know. Well, too bad, buddy. People are going to hear about the time cube. Everyone's going to know.
Dude, Mr. Ian, man, we were having a good one, man. We were having a great conversation. Now we're doing mimicry semantics.
What's up, Dr. Blitz? Are you here for something?
I'm here for the time cube and the fact that I've been to more countries than Aeson has.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, he can talk better than me. Let's go, doctor. Let's go, man.
Yeah. I've been to 16 different countries in the last 5 years.
Amazing.
And I can confirm that the time cube is real.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to all 4 corners of the time cube.
Yeah. He's met Socrates. He's met the fucking Clintons, I guess.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I actually don't understand the time cube. Where I didn't get the education on the time cube. Where did this come from?
So you see, there's like 4 corners. Each of these corners is a day. So when it's going around, it's actually 4 days happening simultaneously for the 4 corners of the time cube. So it isn't 24 hours. It's 4 times 24 hours. It's 96 hours.
And what does this point towards?
It points.
But the elites are hiding the clocks from you.
Yeah.
So you guys genuinely believe that the elites are not real and that they are full.
They are real.
And they're hiding the time cube.
Yeah.
You see, and this is where the plot is lost for you guys, because now you guys truly believe that the people at the top have educated you properly and have given you everything that you need to know in order to come to the right conclusion on our health, on our mind, on our body, and our soul. And you're not willing to intake any new information because you took in this traditional education from the elites that are poisoning your food.
Oh, the elites don't teach the time cube. They teach the 24-hour clock to schmucks like you.
I didn't bring up the time cube at all. This is not some shit I said.
Yeah, the elites are manufacturing the time cube.
Guys,
let's read some.
You guys brought this out. I didn't bring this out.
Earth has 4 corners, simultaneous 4 days. Time cube in only 24-hour rotation. 4 corner days, cubes for quad Earth. Number 1 day God. Free speech in America is, quote, bullshit, unquote. Evil educators block and suppress www.timecube.com. You're educated evil and might have to kill the evil one teaching educators before you can learn that 4 corner days actually exist, but all cube truth denied. Dumbass educators fear me and hide from debate.
I'm kind of confused as to what is the point of that, of what you're showing me?
That I agree with you. All these like evil fucking educators have been hiding the time cube.
Well, so you're being sarcastic.
No, I'm right there with you, right? The educators are evil. They are lying. They're teaching us falsehoods like the clock.
Ian, the educators have led you to being on TikTok live to disprove God's existence for your time. You genuinely think that this is a
Yeah, the 96 hours of time.
Yeah.
You think that this is a proper use of your time based off of all of the education and the wisdom and the knowledge that you have accumulated up to this point. You think this is a proper use of your time, yet you're trying to somehow tell me that I have the wrong conception and the wrong point of view, and I'm miseducated.
Do you know how much time we would have if we recognized the reality of the time cube? We'd have 4 times as much time.
Yes, what's your point?
I have more than enough. I have oodles of time.
I'm saying
I have a
What's the
PhD
point?
in biomechanics. Ask me any question about biomechanics.
again,
And I was
Ian,
able to get this with my 96 hours.
so what's but again, where does this point towards?
The
I'm sorry.
elites are covering up the time cube.
So you don't actually believe. So you do actually believe that,
I more than believe it. I think it.
man. Okay? So Ian, I mean, now you're just talking on semantics because everything I'm saying is easily verifiable via just going to the store.
Mhm.
You can go to the store and see that they have garbage.
Yeah, to distract you from the time cube. That's what they want you to see. They set a fire in your nutrition. They set a fire in your education system to keep you
Okay.
away from the reality that the
you
little
don't- and you're
fucking
saying
thing
you
on the
don't- and you
wall,
don't
the
believe
little
this.
spinning thing on the wall is bullshit. It's all
let's
a
remove
lie.
let's remove the time cube and go back to why I brought up the elites in the first place.
There
because
is
you
no
brought-
removal of
you,
the time
you
cube.
brought up
The time cube
you
is
brought
all.
up the time cube though. That's the thing. Like this is something you brought up because of I brought up a truth. So I brought up a fact. Actually, I brought up something that is indisputable. We can all go see that.
You brought up what the elites want you to think.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. It is indisputable. But the
don't
elites
think
did
the
this
elites
to
want
keep us
you to
away
sit
from the
here for
time
7
cube.
hours a day and argue God.
The elites don't want you to see the reality of the time cube, which is why they've poisoned your food. That's why they're
Dude.
hiding the cancer vaccinations.
It's extremely hard to come to the light when you are educated by the darkness. I don't think you guys can't see
agree.
what's not.
I
It's not.
agree.
You can't see what's.
I have
what's not
48 hours of
possible.
light every day thanks to the time cube.
It's not possible to see what you're choosing not to see. You're deliberately choosing to say that the elites don't exist when we can all go verify easily that they exist.
I agree they exist. Totally
and we can
agree.
all
They're
verify
covering
that
up
their
the time
notions
cube.
are not positive. So these are all things that are easily verifiable,
Mhm.
undisputable.
Totally
yet you're
agree.
here on this live trying to make fun of them.
Totally
which then-
agree.
which
All
then-
those things are true, and it's just a distraction. It's a diversion away from the time cube.
dude, I bet. So So do you believe that? Oh man, Ian, bro. You know, I want you to sooner or later come to the real conclusion because you're actually smart, man. You actually have a brain, and the problem is that it's clouded.
Asan, do me a favor. Count the
what-
seconds in a day. You'll get surprising results.
Okay, I'll do that for you. That's
You
a
just
good one.
you gotta count every single one of them. Not a single one
So
can
are
slip
you saying
by.
this stuff to tell me that my whole basis of elites, you think they don't exist? You think the negative connotation of them trying to deliberately do XYZ negative to society, you think that's like a conspiracy?
Look, do you think that there are 525,600 minutes in a year? Because you'd be sorely mistiken.
Yeah, the
Oh,
plot of Rent, the
I
cast of
can't tell
Rent,
you I
they're all
believe that
federal
because-
agents. Every single member of Rent that sang 525,600 minutes, they're all full of fucking lies.
Okay, to answer your question, Dr. Blitz, I can't tell you that because I've never counted them all. All I know is that the sun comes up and the sun goes down, and then I see some, time move through my phone. All right, so that's the answer to that. Now, Ian, what is your basis of all this? You're saying I'm a conspiracy theorist?
I'll level with you. Yeah, basically. It's just that
So-
conspiracy theory, like conspiracy epistemology.
And so
It's like
that's what
a-
makes now it kind of invalidates everything you've mentioned because every conspiracy that I mentioned is verifiable by simply going to a store.
It's not. Wait, so what do you think the educators are lying to us about?
So the number one connotation is that the elites. I'll
You
just
said
stop
that we
saying
can't
elites.
know
Let's say the top of
anything.
society.
You
the
said that
top
we
of
can't.
society-
Wait, sorry. You said that we can't listen to the Google result. That the Google result that says that your doctor is not licensed to practice medicine, that we can't listen to that. So you reject sources. You know, you can't appeal to sources if you reject them.
I didn't appeal to a source. I said you can verify this in your own life physically. I
Mhm.
never appealed to a source.
Well, wait,
I
but
never
you
once
when
said
I
that.
cited, you told me to look up Dr. William Mackis, so I did. And the first thing that comes up is statement William Mackis is not licensed to practice medicine in Alberta.
Yeah, and I mentioned to you that's again you relying on traditional education and traditional means of knowledge, which has led you to sitting on TikTok live for 8 hours trying to dispute God. And I'm trying to tell
What's
you,
something I'm wrong about?
What you're wrong. Okay, what's something you're wrong about?
Yeah. You say
see,
traditional knowledge is
this is
bad.
what
What's
you're
it
not.
bad about?
Again, you
What am I
don't
wrong
see
about?
it. It's not about you being right or
You
wrong.
can't name
It's that
anything.
there's
What
concrete
am I
evidence.
wrong about? If classical education is so fucked up, what am I wrong about?
Oh, you're wrong about the elites being a conspiracy. You're wrong about you're wrong about even caring that Dr. William
Wait,
Mackis
so sorry,
isn't
that's
professionally
question begging,
run.
first of all.
You're asking me
Saying
what you're wrong about.
yeah, so what I've established in my mind is that this guy is a quack. That I Google this guy's name, and the first thing is his medical organization saying, yeah, he can't call himself a doctor anymore.
Yeah, because he went outside of the traditional education that literally
Yeah.
kills that profits through cancer.
Yeah,
That
go
is
ahead and
the
prove.
obvious
Go ahead and
legal
prove.
end outcome of anyone who goes against the traditional education. What you're saying is
Prove
not
it.
is
Can
not
you cite me
new.
a study?
That's normal.
Can you cite me a study?
Can I send you a study?
Yeah, that just claims that like what this guy says about cancer is true. Just like some data.
I will freaking follow you, and I will send that to you.
So to be clear, you have no data, none whatsoever.
Right now, right in front of me. Hey, Ian, I don't set up a live and set up 20
What?
questions.
Okay, I have Google in front of me. What should I search?
Oh, let's both do it. Let's
Yeah,
both do it.
let's do it right now. What should I search in order to find
Let's do it.
Dr.
Let's
William
do it together.
Mackis's study?
All right, let's do it.
Should I do like research?
Dr. William Mackis. Let's just type that in, all right? Just initial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are we seeing immediately? Radiologist, twc.health. Yep, great. Let's continue. I want you to go to his Twitter.
His Twitter. Okay, cool. Sure.
Man, just put it up, brother.
Can I get like a peer-reviewed study?
Man, we can do whatever, man. I'm perfectly fine with whatever you want, man. I'm good with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like a peer-reviewed study would be cool.
See, the thing is, I'm willing to intake all of
Oh
your
no, we got flagged for misinfo. Fuck. How could this have happened to me? I have no idea.
Maybe, Ian, maybe it's the elites, brother.
That's what I'm saying. So if let's search when I search ivermectin under his publications, I can't help but notice that there's nothing.
Yeah, give me a second, brother.
None of his publications involve any ivermectin.
Where are you seeing his publications, by the way?
On Google Scholar.
Google Scholar.
Dr. Blitz, can you submit a tweet for peer review?
Well, in some sense, it's a kind of peer review, but it'll mostly just be Nazis calling you slurs.
True.
Oh, guys. Feel bad for you guys, man. You guys are actually smart people. You guys are smart people.
I promise. So look, Asan, is Asan what I should call you?
Yeah, it's Asan. All good.
Asan. So, look, so I agree that there are the elites. What the elites are doing, though, is trying to convince people that they don't need an education and that it's good enough to just go onto Twitter and ask Grok something instead of actually learning how the world works, which is what you've said. you have succumbed to, unfortunately.
Okay, so first of all, Dr. Blitz, let me just tell you about me real quick, because again, you've just put on a connotation and you don't actually know me. So I run 2 online businesses, an education company, an e-commerce company. I'm actually
Lord,
I'm not
run an education
finished.
company.
Not finished, brother. I am actually enrolled in the traditional education right now as we speak to try and understand your guys' world. I actually don't need to be in college right now, and I'm in college, right? So
what?
let's get to it. For what?
For what?
Did you ask me why
Yeah.
I'm in college?
Yeah.
Is that
What
a
do you?
bad
What
thing?
degree?
Oh, probably something like freaking marketing, brother. Marketing. We're doing
What do you
marketing.
mean probably something like you don't know your own major?
Marketing, and then I'm taking an AMH, American History. I'm taking Humanities. I'm taking English Composition. Again, it's my first year. So
These are your classes.
yeah, all virtual. Yes,
Okay.
yes, correct, absolutely.
Well, I'm glad that you're currently enrolled at a university. Hopefully that will change
let
your
me continue
epistemology.
talking. So again, let me continue talking. So on top of that, by the way, guys, I served 5 years in the United States military.
Mhm.
So I'm an Army veteran. I did 5 years. I'm married with a wife. I have a
Just
son.
question. Did you see
No,
combat?
no, wait, guys. Remember, we're talking about education and experience. So let's
No,
finish.
I know. I'm just curious if you saw combat. That's all.
Did I see combat? No. I actually volunteered.
Okay.
I volunteered for deployment on our ERB, and I didn't get taken. And you know what I actually point that towards? God, because I had
Cool.
a friend lose his life. So let's continue, right? So I did 5 years in the United States military. I was an E5 sergeant at the age of 21 years old. I actually learned business while I was serving in the military. I actually cleared my first 7 figures in sales while serving as an active duty Army soldier with a newborn son and a wife. Okay, this was at the age of 22 years old back in 2021. I documented my entire process on social media. All right, I've been an entrepreneur for about 6 years. All right. I am now enrolled in your traditional education to now kind of get your guys' world and kind of understand what you guys are, how you guys are even coming to the conclusions that you guys are coming to. Because again, this traditional education that's in front of me right now is, again, it's shit. I mean, it's fucking normal, traditional, right? And I'm saying this to say, because again, you guys think that I have no backing as to what I'm saying. I have no life experience. When the truth is, I probably have 10 times more than you. Again,
I've been to 16 countries in the last 5 years. I've lived in two countries. I have a wife. I've been to, I think, all of the continents.
Hell yeah.
Except one, I guess.
That's what I'm talking about.
If only they selected
No,
you,
except
Blitz.
Yeah, if only the elite selected me. I'm also like 5 years older than you, I think. I'm also an inventor, as in I've sold an invention for thousands of dollars. So like the design of an invention for thousands of dollars.
Brother,
I don't know, man.
I sell things for thousands of dollars every day.
No, like but this is an invention, right? Like not like a product, right?
Oh,
Like
I invented a product from the ground up. It's called an education company. So I invented from zero.
To be clear, you're selling an invention you're selling an education company, or you're selling a product through an education company, but you don't have a college degree?
Yeah, doesn't that sparkle your mind as to why people would trust me?
It makes me pity your customers.
Okay, but so it makes you pity your customers. Yet my customers, I have a live example right now on my YouTube channel of a customer that I made into a multi-million-dollar e-commerce business owner. So I pity.
So it's not actually an education company. It's like one of these like influencer life coach things. It's like, I promise I can get you rich, that kind of thing.
And here's the thing.
I won silver in open debate at university. I won first place speaker in the senior division at a tournament. I won silver at the open division for a debate tournament. I won ninth place speaker. Fuck. At a tournament at open. I won bronze. At an open tournament. I won 7th place speaker at an open tournament. I won an All-American award. And then I got third place at nationals. There's the semifinalist plaque. So I just think I have like way more debate. I think I have way more experience than you. I'm not sure. I'm not going to take debate advice from you.
And now this is semantics.
I just have a question.
Yeah, I got to respond. No, you can't answer. You can't ask the question.
What subjects are you teaching?
No, you can't answer the question. I have to answer Ian's semantics. So Ian, everything you just mentioned is kind of like, Again, you think that everything I mentioned actually holds no weight, hence why you did this little play. But the problem is, again, your superiority complex doesn't make you realize that everything that I'm actually doing in my life holds a lot of weight, a lot more than, again, and I'm not.
What
Sounds like the
subject-
superiority complex is yours, not mine. Because
Brother,
my
no, the
point
thing-
is that
the thing
our
is, if
things
I had
are
a- no,
equally
because
weighty.
I'm- but
Everybody's
I'm
done
stating
things in their
facts.
life. Nobody's life is more meaningful than anybody else's life.
So
Except
why are
mine.
you
Mine's more
sitting here
meaningful than everybody
arguing
else's.
other people's wisdom and knowledge and experience and telling them they're wrong if no one's life is more
Because you're
meaningful?
literally appealing to your experience. You're appealing to authority. You're doing the thing. You have a superiority complex, not I.
Ian, to
I'm sorry, I
get
have
on
to know.
live for 8
I have
hours a
to know.
day. Wait, to get on live for 8 hours a day and argue the existence of a creator, you have to have a superiority complex. What are you?
Nathan, I gotta know, what subject does your education company teach? What subjects?
Dr. Blitz, that doesn't matter.
It does matter. It
does
really
matter.
matters, I promise you.
Okay,
like
tell me
super
why it
matters.
matters.
Do
Tell
you
me
teach
why-
math? Do you teach biology? Do you teach English language? Do you teach Spanish as a second language? Like, what do you teach?
I teach a skill that actually impacts people's lives
Which is?
immediately, which is the sale of products through becoming an authorized dealer for major brand name companies.
Okay, so wait, hold on.
Is that a
hold on.
pyramid
You teach-
scheme?
You're an he's an MLM. He's an MLM guy.
It seems you guys are uneducated. Have you guys ever heard of the word authorized dealer? Are you guys okay? Do you know what an authorized dealer is? That's a legal agreement with a company. That's actually exactly what Best Buy and Wayfair do to make billions of dollars, but you guys don't understand
He's
it.
an MLM.
You're traditionally educated. Again, you guys just heard the word authorized dealer.
So to be
and now
clear,
are
you
saying
don't
MLM.
you don't run an education company. You
Oh, so
sell
now
get rich
you're
quick
trying to
schemes.
tell me what I run, Mr. Blitz.
Yeah. It's not an education company. You misrepresented your business. You should be scolded by the Better Business Bureau or whatever.
You see, and this, guys, is where traditional education meets real life experience. They think because they don't know
You're
what.
selling a scam.
Wait a
Can
minute.
What?
Can I
I
get?
gotta
What do you
finish,
mean?
guys. I gotta finish. Hey guys, go Google authorized dealer and tell me if it's a scam. Just go Google it, and then just
But
go.
you don't sell. You're not an authorized dealer. You sell lessons in big air quotes to teach people to be
remember,
authorized dealers. You're selling life coaching.
so real scammers
Is
would
the-
sit here and be like, man, I can't actually show you anything to prove that I'm not an authorized dealer. But because again, I actually live the life that I say I live. I'm gonna show you.
Did you learn
okay?
from someone?
Did I, Mr. Ian? Stop asking me irrelevant questions.
I just
bro.
want to know.
Let's
Okay, wait.
go
Let's
back
just
to
get.
what Dr.
Let's just get
Blitz said.
clear.
Because I am a scammer, guys. So because I'm a scammer, let me show you who I'm scamming real quick. Because Dr. Blitz, you have a point.
Yes, show us your one successful entrepreneur who took your class, and then show us the 20,000 people who failed and you took money from.
Ian, I have a total of 330.
Wait, so
Okay.
okay, I just want to get clear on the structure. So we have your teacher who taught you how to do this, and then we have you.
No,
and
you
now
think
we
a
have.
teacher taught me how to do this? See, this is the
That's
thing,
what I was.
again,
That's what I'm trying to get clear
you're-
on.
you're
Did a teacher teach you how to do
traditionally
this?
educated, brother, you're traditionally
they-
educated. That's
then-
your problem. A teacher didn't teach me this. A
And then
teacher
we have-
taught you all.
And then
Hey,
we have.
Ian,
And then we have your
life
students down here. Is
experience.
that? Am
Ian,
I?
life taught me what I know.
Am I
Your
like
teacher
vaguely
taught you
gesturing
what
at the
you
right
know.
structure? Is this?
Ian, were taught by teachers. I was taught by life. This is the massive difference. You will never understand.
Yeah. So what company? So
Now,
who are you
listen.
an authorized dealer for?
Okay, so life taught me married at a young age, military service, business ownership, leadership at a young age. What are you, college? I went to college.
Wait,
I'm living
business
my life.
ownership? I thought you were an authorized dealer, not a business owner.
Can you go Google what an authorized dealer is before you sound pretty dumb, Mr. Doctor? You sound pretty.
I'm sorry. Do you have employees?
You sound. Yes, I have employees. I have virtual assistants from the Philippines. Absolutely. Yes, correct. What else? What other?
Yeah, I
question
have
do you
employees. I once hired a dude on Fiverr.
That's what it sounds like.
You see, guys. So this is traditional education. They want you to think that they know more than people with real
How
life
much do you pay
experience.
your employees?
Military
Is it like
service,
a couple of bucks a
business
day?
ownership. I actually don't answer to no one besides myself, guys, and they think that I'm somehow miseducated. I've been my own boss since November of
No, the word is
2021.
uneducated,
I've
not
been a leader.
miseducated.
I've been a leader since the 9th grade, and they want you to
A
firmly.
leader.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
Yeah, I
correct.
was appointed hallway monitor in 9th grade.
You see, again, guys, you're talking to a traditionally educated little 24-year-old who wants you to think God's not real, and
I'm
then there's
sorry, I'm
someone
32.
who's- Yeah, I'm not talking about. Well, you as
Yeah,
well.
some
You
old
also-
fuck 32-year-old who wants you to think
your
God's
education
not
is
real.
also false. Okay, and hey, by the way, Dr. Blitz. So let's talk about impact real quick. So you said
Yeah.
you said I have.
Don't let him
you
pivot,
said,
Dr. Blitz. Why? Let's fucking
Well,
stay on the
no.
education.
No, I'm answering him. I'm answering him. It's not pivoting. Let me show you guys.
Okay.
How do you flip it? How do you flip the screen, man?
You're a leader.
Is your
You'll figure it
video on?
out.
I can't see anything.
You know, I'm not fucking chronically on TikTok, Mr. Ian, like you.
You gotta press
At
the
least not on
camera.
live. I actually am on TikTok, brother. I actually do post videos, but I'm not chronically on here. How do you flip this, guys?
Yeah, you press like the screen. It'll be like a flip.
All right, buddy. That's
How much
gotcha.
do you pay your employees in the Philippines?
$3 an hour is my guess.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just turn it, guys. So again, because I'm a scammer and I'm someone who doesn't really have
Can anybody else see his camera?
I can see his camera. Well, if you want, I know someone who just made a very generous offer. Mezzo will, for $500, Mezzo will teach you a class on how to flip your camera.
Fuck, dude, I'll pay him. Tell me.
Okay.
Let's get it done.
Yeah, let's get Mezzo on in here if he wants.
Let's get it done. Let's get this shit done.
Yeah, Mezzo, we have your first client.
Guys, this is a lot more wise.
I have no idea. He might be busy.
Bummer.
Okay, I figured it out. All right,
Well,
here we
I
go.
can beat his price.
So again, guys,
I'll just take $300 for it.
Listen, guys, if everything you're saying is true, then I couldn't possibly have a live 44-minute interview of a student who does $200,000 a month, equating to over $2 million a year. If everything you're saying is true, then this couldn't be real, right? The contradiction.
Wait, you're a
This isn't
drop
real.
shipper? That's what your business? You teach people how to be drop shippers?
Oh, so again,
That's
this
your
shows your lack of
company?
education because drop shipping is a way to fulfill an order. It's not a business.
Okay, so
again,
to be clear,
Dr.
this is
Dr.
like
Blitz,
this is
you
not
don't know
an
what you're
education
talking
company.
about. Drop shipping is not the business model.
Did you?
It's a way to fulfill
Is that
an
your
order.
business?
Again, you don't.
Does your
this is the
Are you a
problem,
drop
guys.
shipper
You
as a
guys are
business or?
traditionally
No, he
educated.
teaches drop
You see,
shipping.
again, your problem is you don't even understand what you just saw. Drop shipping is not even the business model. It is a way to fulfill an order. That is not the model. So what you're saying is wrong.
It's
already.
absolutely a model. What are you talking about? Drop shipping is absolutely a way
Dude,
that people do business.
brother, you're literally talking to him. You don't understand more.
Did you just call yourself him?
Yeah, drop shipping.
That's so cringe.
I just said it 30 times.
This guy's the fucking SEAL Team 6 of drop shipping,
Alright,
Blitz.
you guys know
You
what I meant,
goddamn,
man.
you goddamn
We're
salute
talking-
him.
No, we're talking in the sense of knowing about this. Hello, you can't educate me on this because this is me. I just told you drop
So to be
shipping.
clear,
Okay.
so what exactly do you teach? Do you teach people how to
okay, so let me-
run drop
Alright, guys.
shipping businesses? Is
When
that
can I-
the business?
Okay, may I respond without getting interrupted in order to bring you to clarity and for you to stop saying dumb stuff?
Depends
Alright,
how funny
great,
your
guys.
answer is, but
So let's talk about, okay, guys, so without being interrupted, I, as an Army soldier, figured out that Best Buy and I'm gonna make this fast. Best Buy and Wayfair are authorized dealers. They're just in-person authorized dealers. There is now a system called the online authorized dealer system where you can partner with ginormous companies, then in turn be their dealer. I think you guys have probably seen in store a wall that said authorized dealer. Well, hey guys, welcome. That's exactly what I am. A real business owner, not a little trashy. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now that you're educated,
you're a drop
Mr.
shipper. We know what you
Again,
are.
you don't understand it. Brother, drop.
Wait, you said you had two businesses. So the first business is you're a drop shipper. The second business is you teach other people to be drop shippers. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm also an Army veteran. I'm all.
Is that a
I'm talking about
business?
The businesses.
No, but what?
How
Guys,
much
what are you-
profit is
are you
being an
guys-
Army veteran
guys-
bring you in yearly?
Oh, did he leave?
Yeah. I have no
Oh.
idea where he went. The fuck? Okay, wait, he's back.
So what he did is that he
No,
made
I didn't
some
leave, I
money
didn't leave.
being a drop shipper.
So wait,
He made some
guys.
money
So-
being a drop shipper, thought he was
So
hot
now
shit.
you guys are
And then he
trying
decided
to
he could make more money by tricking other people into thinking that they can make a lot of money being a drop shipper.
So if what you're saying is true, Mr. Doctor, this wouldn't exist. Okay, so what you're saying is just semantics.
You mean
okay?
the one example? How many students have you had in total, Asen?
Hey, Doctor, have you created a millionaire?
Can't help but
Have you-
notice that wasn't an answer.
Wait, no. I'm sorry, because we're talking about We're talking about
How many
impact.
students
now.
have you had?
You made an invention that you sold for
We just want to
thousands of
know.
dollars.
We just want to know how many
Yeah, I
students you
sold it for
had.
$4,000
You
as a
guys don't get to
19-year-old.
do
Just
that.
a number,
because everything
please. Could we just get like a
you guys
number?
don't get to do that. You
Can we
don't
get like a
get to do
number,
that.
perhaps?
You don't get to veer off when I prove
I
you
don't get
wrong.
to
You
ask
don't
for a
get to
number.
veer off when
I
I
just want to
prove
know how
you
many.
wrong. Because if I taught and what I teach
How
is
many
not
students?
real, this wouldn't real. So again, the contradiction.
Well, no,
that I
actually,
just
it wouldn't
made.
be, Asen. So here's the flaw in your logic. The point is that if anybody starts a drop shipping business, the vast majority are going to be wildly unsuccessful. However, it is the case that some people will be successful. And so if you find 300 people to buy your little drop shipping class, the odds of any one of them being successful is very, very low, regardless of your class. However, just by sheer luck, it's plausible and likely, in fact, that you will have one success story.
And
So
here,
no,
guys,
it's not
here's
the
a
case.
traditionally educated human telling
it's
me
not
that
the case
business,
that just
here's a
because you have
traditionally
one success
educated
story means
person
that you're
without a
teaching
business.
something valuable.
This is someone who's never started a business telling me, who's been in business for 7 years, that it's luck.
If we're wrong, then stop dodging. Just answer the question. How many students have you had?
You don't have basis. I'm trying to get you guys to
Yeah,
clarity.
let's I want basis for the first question to build my foundation. How many students have you had?
Okay, so no, you cannot continue to ask me questions, and when I
How
give you
many
the answer,
students
veer off.
You didn't give us an answer though.
You had
You can't see doctor
dodge
like
counter. That's just gonna be dodge number
many
one. I
students did you have?
fear.
this is what happens when traditional education meets real life experience. I am
How many
actually
students
a
have you had?
business owner.
Did
I
your real life
actually-
experience? How many hours of weasel footage did your real life experience
I actually
include?
don't
It's gonna be
rely on
dodge
TikTok.
number one. Let's get try number two. How many
I
students have
actually
you
don't
had?
have a human that I need to listen to
Okay.
on my day to day. I'm guided by God. That's the thing you guys will never
Is
understand.
Jesus
You guys are
human?
guided by other humans.
Is Jesus
You guys-
human?
You guys are guided by other people.
Is
and I'm
Jesus
not.
human?
This is the
Jesus, is he
difference
human?
between us.
Is Jesus
This is
human?
the direct difference between us,
Is
guys.
Jesus
I'm
human? Stop
someone-
dodging.
Is Jesus human?
Yeah.
Jesus was God in the flesh.
So he was human. So there is a human you listen to be clear.
God.
Yeah, but you do listen to a human, just to clarify.
God.
Yeah, Jesus, right?
God.
Yeah. So you agree that
God.
there is a human. You were wrong when you said that there's no human you listen to. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to the dodge
God
counter. How many students have you
came
had? Let's
down.
get try number 3. Don't thrudge.
Guys,
The
no,
last thing I would
this-
want is a thrudger in my
Guys,
life.
you guys are dodging yourself by going deeper
Look,
into this
Asen,
conversation.
if you're proud of this,
Wow.
why wouldn't you tell us how many students
you guys
had?
realize it's not possible to talk with you?
Just a
It's
number,
actually not.
please.
Just say a number.
Guys, that doesn't matter.
does.
Let's
It
talk
does
about
matter.
it. No,
Yes,
because
sir.
I
It does matter because
Dr.
it actually
Blitz,
it actually
Dr.
does matter
Blitz,
for my
how many,
accusation.
Dr. Blitz, how many students'
It's gonna be a
lives have-
thrudge. This guy's thrudging.
How many
Don't
lives have you
quadge.
guys impacted? Wait,
Don't
how many
quadge.
positive? How much lives have you guys impacted?
Millions.
Hundreds, perhaps thousands, maybe even tens of thousands.
You, Dr. Blitz, you literally run like a highly successful TikTok page.
Oh, that's a good point. No, I was talking about like students that I had when I was teaching engineers.
Mm.
So perhaps thousands of engineers who later went on to be successful engineers as a result of the courses that I taught, which were actual courses, by the way, not like how to be a dropshipper 101. Give me $400 an hour for a 45-minute seminar.
And that's amazing, and I'm glad that you did that. But that
But
doesn't,
how many students did you have?
guys. What? Okay, so where does this question? What is the point of the question? Tell me the
We
basis.
just
of
want
the
to
question.
we just want to do like
Because I
some woke.
Well, no, because
liberal
again, that doesn't-
statistics.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Traditional
No,
education.
Asen, the
I
point of us
listed-
is that I want to know what your success rate is.
Yeah.
So tell me how many students you've had.
Guys, 300 over the course of
300. How many have done more than 5 figures in sales?
probably well over about 10%.
So you have a 90% failure rate?
Yeah, business is not simple, brother. Just because I give you the education doesn't mean you're going to
A
actually.
90% failure rate is like lower than you would expect for just random
Yo,
jobs.
I have
Wait,
brutal
wait,
news to be
okay,
clear.
wait. What is the success rate in business in general? Google it.
Wait, this is super
Okay.
interesting.
All right, guys.
Apparently
we gotta-
10% is the exact rate.
This-
the-
So am I spot on? So
That's
am
so
I
funny.
spot on?
10 to
So
you're
do
on, you're
I
on the
have-
lower end, it
Or
seems.
do I have an
Your education
well,
has no influence. You
well,
provide no
Yeah,
value.
it's not statistically
remember, guys,
significant.
Well, remember, guys, I don't teach.
It actually
rock-
seems like it's harmful, if anything.
So would you go on ahead and call my top student right now who does $350,000 a month in revenue in his business that I harmed him?
I would say that that's an anomaly, right? If if the average drop
all
shipper,
business
if
owners are
10 to
anomalies.
20%
Yeah,
of drop shippers
this is what I'm
succeed,
glad you just
and
said
you've
this.
only had
You just said it,
10% succeed, that means that
you
your
just said
drop
it.
shippers are on the lower end. Do you not
You
understand
just
that?
said it. You just said it.
That
It's
they
an
would be
anomaly.
better off, they would do better had they not taken the class.
Well, don't
Just
you?
to be clear,
Hey guys,
apparently there's some numbers that, like,
life doesn't end once you fail a venture.
Apparently 15% of stores on Shopify, which is a dropshipper website, 15% of stores do 6 figures or more annually.
Okay.
So you're just on the lower end.
And you have one.
Are you talking about successful stores?
Yeah.
Great. That's
15% of stores on Shopify
that's-
do 6 figures annually.
And
you only have one student out of 300 who's done that.
You guys aren't actually. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so you want to see the percentage of millionaires? Let's put that
The percentage of people who have done 6 figures.
No, but the student I showed you is a multi-millionaire. Let's talk about.
Yeah. How many students have you done that have? So you do 10% that do 5 figures.
They're
or better,
literally
right?
trying to argue. They're trying to argue the fact that I've made a multi-millionaire, and because
No,
I
we're
didn't
not.
make them all millionaires, they're saying because I didn't make them all
we're
millionaires.
not.
Mason, what we're trying to argue is that you are doing worse than what you would expect if they were doing it without your course.
My friend, do you know how many people who graduate college right now are getting jobs that spent $50, $40, $100,000 on a degree? What is that percentage?
Cool pivot.
Wait. Are we at the lowest rate ever from graduates to jobs?
This dude's
ever?
sprinting away.
Cool pivot, but what does that have to do with
guys,
anything?
because I now give
the claim that's
their,
being made
I'm
is that
giving
you
it
are actually
exactly
making
back
people
to
worse
them. I'm
off.
pivoting, so I'm giving it back
Yes.
to them, and it's a
Yes,
pivot.
that is a pivot. Yeah.
It is a pivot, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you tell the people who paid the school $80,000 who can't get a job?
I tell them to quoque. That's a pivot.
Wow. So again, guys, this is real experience meeting traditional education.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Average student debt is around 40 to 10 to 100,000. Holy fuck! You think I charge somebody 40 to 100,000 dollars to teach them how to make money for the rest of their life? No, I don't.
You probably
class
charge
was-
them $400 for 45 minutes to teach them to just buy and then sell higher, buy low, sell high.
Hey guys, if you could pay me $400,000 and to get an interview video of making $200,000 a month, wouldn't you do it?
Oh.
Okay. So
Wait,
so let's
no, I'm
continue.
sorry.
So
Are you
your
on
connotation, your connotations don't matter.
allydropship.com?
Again, man, you guys are okay. What I'm trying to understand
This is
is
very funny.
you guys are
Hold
fighting.
on, I gotta go figure out how much it's gonna cost.
To do what?
How much is his lessons cost?
Yeah, but I'm also doing this.
Okay, guys. So these two in front of you want you to truly believe that traditional education and not believing in God is better than non-traditional education and believing in God. I just want you guys to understand there are two people in front of you who are looking at someone who served in the military, is happily married, is business owner, and they're trying to spin it negatively.
No, we're not. That's not true.
They're trying to literally have sarcasm and spin this negatively. So the thing, this is what happens when the devil takes over. When the devil takes over and clouds your brain, it makes you act like this. It makes you see good in front of you and try and portray it as bad. So I'm actually a good person. Actually,
many good people need to affirm that to themselves. I hear.
Right? Positive. And these people are saying, because I'm an entrepreneur and because I served in the military.
Nope, didn't say that.
I'm no one to listen to, guys. So listen, for you guys who take the side of Ian and Dr. Blitz, understand you will stay traditionally educated and you will never be free. You will never be free. I have complete and time location freedom. This is just the truth. Now, when you veer outside of traditional education and you believe
it is a 45-minute session, Dr. Blitz. You're like fucking omniscient.
It's always a 45.
Guys, I just made a sale.
That's crazy.
I just got a Shopify sale while talking to you guys.
How did you know?
Look at this. Yo, guys, let's check it out. Wait, can I put a screenshot?
Like this?
Yo, let's put a screenshot.
Oh, I see it so much.
Guys, where's the screenshot? Can I put a screenshot in here? Is that possible?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
How do I do it? So again, guys, so you're talking about,
I got to a point where I had to input my phone number, and I'm not going to do that. So.
Okay, so
I can't even find the.
It's the YouTube channel.
The only reason I'm still talking to you.
I'll DM you the YouTube channel.
Okay. You guys are smart. I don't understand how you guys are so smart and you don't see it. I don't understand. How could you guys possibly be this smart and have this much processes going through your brain and still come to
I found it.
Conclusion?
Yeah, you found it because I just sent it to you. Sick fuck.
You got me there.
Yeah, what are we wrong about?
guys. So if guys, you guys can follow the person that wants to sit on live all day
Do you
and
think that's an
argue.
answer to my question?
But the real thing is, you're never going to be free and actually
think
find
that
yourself
answers
with this.
my question?
What's your question?
Yeah. Fuck, I completely forgot it. Damn. Oh yeah, what am I wrong about? That was the question.
What are you right about?
Yeah, you said that we're wrong. You said that this is what traditional education looks like. What are we wrong about?
So no. It's not. It's principle. So you're somehow making fun of the fact that I'm an actual entrepreneur, and you think that you're right.
Yeah, that you're
So
like a drop shipper. We are making fun of the fact that you're a drop shipper. You know, if you were an entrepreneur who wasn't a drop shipper, surely we wouldn't be making fun of you.
Okay, so tell me, Ian, does this look like a drop shipper to you, man?
You're a drop shipper and a drop shipper educator.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys my company so you guys can just at ease your mouth and see that everything I do is real.
No, but like why are you listed as a drop shipper on like AliExpress?
Because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, doctor. Because that's
Wait,
not how it works.
Dr. Blitz, is this real? there's no
So
shot.
let's talk about
There's-
it. So all
there's-
of you
there's
guys
no
can go
way.
to patioscapeoutdoors.com and see my company. I sell barbecue grills, pizza ovens, fire pits, patio heaters, and I'm an authorized dealer for the biggest companies that you guys know. You all know what Blackstone is. Guess what? I provide you with that product. You all know what Solo Stove is. You saw that Snoop Dogg ad a year ago. Blaze, Bromic. Okay, so let's continue, right? Let's talk about
It's
actual products.
Patioscape what?
Let's talk about actual business. Okay, so first of all,
Patio.
this is not. I know this is too much for you guys to understand.
What?
How did
What was
ASIN
it?
do this? How does ASIN have access to products?
ASIN,
How did
cut
he
the
even
ad.
start
No
this
one
business?
cares. ASIN,
Wow.
skip ad, ASIN.
Oh,
I have an ad
now
blocker. Say the name of the
now no
website.
one
Was
cares.
it Patioscape? What?
Now no one cares, guys. When he shows a real business,
What
no
I
one cares.
don't want is the ad.
Oh my God, no one cares, guys. See, this is what
Oh
you
my
don't
God!
understand.
Skip the ad. What an unreasonable request. Don't advertise on my live stream. What an unreasonable request.
Brother, I'm solely showing you this to show you that I run a real business. That's it. Ian, the website is patio.
No shot. That's so sick. Okay, yeah, let's just check AliExpress.
Guys,
Let's
here's
check.
their traditional education.
Guys, words don't mean words, guys. Guys, the power of drop shippers. The inspiring journey of ASON, from military life to thriving online business with high-ticket e-commerce.
You know what's amazing? I didn't even
Drop
write that
shipping.
myself. I didn't even write that myself.
Yeah.
They wrote that about me.
So clearly you're a drop shipper. Yeah, somebody analyzed this and
wrote
realized that you're a
about
drop
me.
shipper. Yeah.
You're showing PR, bro. You're showing what someone wrote.
So you're a drop
about
shipper.
me.
To be clear,
Someone
you agree
wrote
you're a
that
drop
about
shipper?
me.
So
Okay,
do
guys.
we agree
So-
that you're a drop shipper, or what's the deal?
So if I was a drop shipper,
Was the
then
person
you,
who
Ian,
wrote it just like a fucking moron?
Hey, Ian, can you go drop ship Blackstone products? Can you go do that?
Why
for
would
me
I
if
want
it's-
to? I do other things.
It's because you can't, dude. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Why would I want? That would be an inefficient use of my time. It would be statistically. It would be statistically likely that I would fail as a drop shipper. You know, I've already succeeded as a streamer. I do,
Actually,
all things
you really,
considered, as a streamer, I do pretty well.
it's actually really not hard apparently to become a Blackstone dealer. There's just an application form.
Oh,
okay.
fuck!
Mr.
Wait,
Doctor,
I'm gonna
please-
become a. I'm
Hey,
gonna become a
doctor,
Blackstone dealer. Hold
please,
on.
Please go apply, doctor, and tell me how it goes. Please go apply.
Blackstone
and tell me.
authorized
I'd rather not
dealer.
give
I
them
want you to
my
actually.
info.
I want you to show me the authorized dealer agreement tomorrow because it's so easy and anyone can do it.
I'd rather not give them my personally identifying information.
Oh,
Thank
now
you.
I don't want to give Blackstone my information.
I don't want
guys.
to. I don't want to
Why
give.
would
I don't want to give
Blackstone
people my
information?
personal information. Dr. Blitz, that's such an unreasonable thing for you to say. How, you know,
guys.
give your fucking home address
Ace,
right this
look,
second, Dr.
Anyone
Blitz.
can be a dealer. Look at the application form right here. Oh wait, I'm not going to fill it because my personal. Bro, you guys are.
Yeah, why would I fill it out?
Yeah, Dr. Blitz, don't. Why won't you fill out the fucking application for the service you won't use, Dr. Blitz? Why won't you just do that?
That's not a service. It's a business partnership. Again, your lack.
Why
your
won't you?
lack of
Why won't you fill out the business
education.
partnership for the business that you're not going to do?
Education. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, guys, the whole basis of this. I only said any of this to show you guys I'm probably a lot deeper experience than you
Yeah,
understand.
well,
And
you have a
you guys-
superiority complex, is
So
what
you
it
guys,
is.
no.
Yeah.
You're 20. Well, I don't have a superior.
You might be richer. That might be true. But
Yeah.
It's called.
I suspect you're richer by
No. It's called
filling
wisdom. It's guys. It's called
filling a gap in the capitalist system that we live in.
wisdom.
Probably.
So I have wisdom.
Asen, you think that you're wise? You're like 27. You're a baby. You don't even remember 9/11.
Okay. So again,
This is like the epitome of hubris.
let's talk about wisdom. If someone has without wisdom, correct, Ian, like you mentioned earlier, you can't.
Oh, we got an old head here. Okay.
You can't get to your dream life. You can't get to a well reality. Hey, Ian, I got to that reality. So isn't that a contradiction? Whoa! Wouldn't that be a contradiction?
No, because people can be mistaken about whether or not they're living well.
To do with anything.
Yeah.
People
Also,
can
being
be
rich and wisdom are
mistaken
related.
on whether or not they're living well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. For example, people can be mistaken about whether or not they have self-respect. You can respect your like ego, but that's not self-respect. You've mistaken the ego for the self.
You've mistaken me saying my life experience for ego. That's
well, no, it is
not
ego. I mean, you say that we have superiority complexes when you've said multiple times that you're like way more, I don't know, experienced than us, and you just like know more.
Yeah, to show you that I have much more perspectives.
So
in
you
life
so to
than
be
you.
clear, you do, because I would never say that I think that I'm like superior to you, but it sounds like you are willing to say that you're superior
But
to me.
Ian, you don't understand that your body language and the manner in which you ask questions shows
To be
that you
clear,
think
to
you're
be clear, do you think you're superior to me?
not at all. I think we're all created equal.
You didn't think that, you didn't say like just a couple of minutes ago that you're like way more experienced than I am?
Yeah, that's not a superior. Superior and experience don't mean the same things. You're
What
right.
do you take superior to mean?
Someone who thinks that they are above another person, and I don't believe that.
Above by what metric?
Superiority means above. No,
Yeah, above by what metric?
I'm not talking about metric. I answered your question. What do
You
mean,
didn't
what
answer the
metric?
question. That's circular.
Above by what metric?
Yeah, you said above by what? I asked what above by what metric. You said above. That's circular.
But I don't believe I'm superior, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm asking you, what would that mean? Because you think that you're superior to me in experience.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that the life that you've lived is superior to the life that I've lived?
Do I think it's superior? No, I think it's my individual experience. But because I have wisdom and I've reflected on everything, I know that I've experienced a lot more than the average human. So yeah.
A 24 or a 27-year-old saying they have wisdom is like the funniest thing I've heard all day.
Okay, guys.
And we were doing time cube memes on you
This is why I
earlier.
mentioned these things, because you think that being an army sergeant at the age of 21 is something that you can do without wisdom. You think
Don't listen to him. He's just lacking in wisdom. Dr. Blitz is just a stupid fucking brainlet. Don't listen to him.
You definitely can't interrupt me when I speak. You think being a business owner, you think being married,
So-
you think
Pipe
all
down,
these
Dr.
things-
Blitz. Shut the fuck up.
Asen,
Damn, bro.
actually, one sec.
You
So
think
it
all
turns
these
out that
things
it
are
takes
possible?
3 years to become a sergeant in the U.S. Army.
You
And
think
so
all
if
these
you enrolled at
things-
18,
I'm
you
sorry.
would be a sergeant in
So
3 years.
how
Yeah.
could it possibly? I'm sorry. Say it again.
It takes a minimum of 3 years of service and 1 year of time and grade to be promoted to Sergeant E5. This can be waived though for to 18 months time in service and 6 months
So
time in grade.
are you questioning that I made Army sergeant?
No, what I'm saying is that it's not that hard to be a sergeant at 21 if you enrolled when you were 18.
Hey, Asen, I got a business question.
But this is your basis. Again, I only mentioned this to show you that it takes a lot of
It doesn't take
experience
wisdom.
and wisdom
It's
to
actually normal. You should expect to be a sergeant
Ian,
in 3 to 5 years.
I'm sorry.
I've got a
Dr.
business
Blitz,
question I
Dr.
think you
Blitz.
can help me with.
Yeah, I got you. Dr.
I-
Blitz,
I
that
need
was
your
solely, wait,
education.
no, you guys can't interrupt me when I'm talking. So Dr. Blitz, that was solely one thing that I mentioned as the accumulation of experiences in my life that has led me to become this person of wisdom, that has led me to become this person who doesn't work for someone else and relies on the world. Okay, so yeah, you can talk to me, Deacon.
Oh no, this is brutal. Apparently that's average to become a sergeant. Apparently that's like super typical. Apparently, the percentage of people who become sergeants depends on the specific military branch, but it's not a fixed number. In the U.S. Army, becoming a sergeant is a fairly common promotion, as most soldiers are promoted to this first non-commissioned officer rank, E5, within about 3 to 4 years of service. So it's normal. It's expected.
Okay, can you search up the average age of Army sergeants?
It says within 3 to 4 years.
Can you show me the age?
The average age is around 22.
Okay, so here's what you guys. So now you guys are downplaying what it is to be a non-commissioned officer in the military. That is crazy. Like, you guys actually don't understand how absolutely stupid you sound trying to
They
downplay.
just read you
what
the
it is.
numbers.
Yeah, it's just statistics.
You guys.
So I mean, you're good with numbers. I want you to help me out here though, because I'm really interested in your business because you listed Patio Escape Outdoors. Is
Hey
that
Nate.
correct?
Hey Nate. You said what is my CAC number? I got you, brother. And again, for you guys saying stolen valor,
Who's Nate?
he's with someone in the comments.
Who's
man.
Nate? Why are you talking to the comments?
You're not talking to the comments. Try to
I'm
pay
sorry.
attention.
You're right. I'm sorry.
I need business advice.
Okay,
Your business is Patio Escape Outdoors.
Yes, that's one of them. Correct.
You own it.
Yeah. Management, brother.
Who's your
That's
business partner?
Who's my? Yeah. See, this is the questions that
Because as it turns out,
these
that
are the
business is owned
questions that
by a
you don't
guy.
typically
That
answer
business
to
is owned by a
random
guy named
people
Daryl
online.
Brightwell. Just to clear, that business is owned by Daryl Brightwell, and his actual LLC is listed on the website.
Yeah.
Brightwell Ventures LLC. All
Yes.
you have to do is just read the webpage. It sounds like you're lying about what business you own.
Would you like me to get my second phone and call Mr. Brightwell? Is that like what?
Actually,
see
so-
the thing
so
I
what
don't
I-
understand.
so
you
what
see,
I
the
want-
the problem is, guys,
you
it's
just
in
said
front
that
of you.
You
It's
just
in
said you
front of
didn't have a
and you
business
still-
owner. You just said you
It's-
didn't have a co-owner.
It's in front of you, and you still can't see. This.
How
is
come your name's not listed on this business?
Do you know what
Justin, typically they don't
Do you
put
guys know
managers
what-
on the
do you guys
business
know
now,
what-
do they?
Do you guys know what joint venture agreements are?
I do.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
mhm.
So how come my name isn't in the business, but how come I have full back end access to the business, and how come the business is right
That's
in
like
front of me?
that's like exceedingly normal
Oh,
for like a
wow.
lot of different roles to have
Oh, wow.
full back end
Oh, wow.
access. That's like
Oh,
super
wow,
normal.
guys.
In
Yeah,
fact,
this is so
I think
normal,
you
guys.
probably
You
would
can just
have
log
that
into any
as an
business.
employee of like most places.
Yeah,
If
guys.
it's like
you
a
can
small
just-
enough business.
You can log in and have full admin access and manage the entire. Yeah, guys, they're solely right. People who've never been in business in their
For like
life.
a small
know-
business, that
know
sounds
more-
super normal.
know more
Yeah.
than me. Yeah, guys. Yeah. So again, you guys are making
Well,
yourself
and
look
to be
like
clear,
fools out there.
right now we're talking
Real
about experience.
entrepreneurs, real
What
business
I am
owners
is a
here-
software engineer, which is how I know that what you're saying is like extraordinarily unimpressive. That's exactly what I would expect. If it's a small enough business, I would literally expect that you would have back-end access to the website.
And this is where your lack of business knowledge comes in, and that's why you're wrong. Like
It's a
and
computer
again, like,
science knowledge. It's a matter of computer
This
science
is where
knowledge.
your superiority complex comes in, because you're actually incorrect, Ian. Like, you're
Projection.
genuinely wrong, and you think that you're right.
I'm just
Projection.
confused why you said you're an owner on a business where your name isn't listed.
Joint venture agreement, management. That's
Okay,
why, because I manage the entire business.
Because the Brightwell leadership doesn't have you listed.
Okay, man.
either.
So that's one. Would you like another? Would you like me to show
Actually,
you? an
wait, can
LLC?
you call your friend? I have questions. You
Wait,
said
who runs Brightwell? Who runs Brightwell Ventures? What's their name?
Daryl?
Did the problem? See, this is okay. So you guys are.
I actually don't know what his name is because I can't
guys
find it on the
think
website.
You guys are in front of the other side of the world, and you think that it's not real. So do you think all this is fake as well? Like, do you guys think
No,
my
I
wife
just
is
think
fake?
you're lying.
Do you guys think my wife is fake too?
So just to be clear, under
Oh, I found the LinkedIn.
Georgia,
Your name's not listed anywhere on Brightwell.
Yeah.
Or on Brightwell, by the way.
under the Georgia Corporation
guys,
Division.
joint ventures don't go
So
on legal.
I'm actually looking at the registered business corporation in the state of Georgia where it's registered, and the only registered agent name here is Daryl Brightwell. You're not listed anywhere.
Okay, guys, I guess you guys want to see a joint venture agreement, because that will solidify and kind of close.
But then you
your-
don't
Actually,
have it, right?
I'm looking at the actual corporation agreement in the state of Georgia, and it's not a joint venture.
And this is where your lack of business comes in, because joint venture agreements don't have to be displayed on.
It's actually an LLC. LLCs by classification aren't joint ventures.
joint venture. Okay, man, I'm just. It doesn't actually make sense to talk to you.
It sounds like you don't actually know any business.
You know, it makes more sense to show you, brother. It makes more sense to show you, because
I think it makes more sense that you should go to business school.
Yeah, man, I'm the one who definitely needs to go to business school, and
I
I'm
actually
I think it's actually
did run
involved,
a
right?
successful business where I was literally training people in the engineering field.
Congrats!
And
I run
and
two businesses
you,
that are
you know
successful right
how
now as we speak.
successful my trainees were? 100% of them were successful.
That's absolutely amazing. And I'm really grateful for you. That's amazing. But guess what? Business ownership is not 100% success rate. No one, and let's talk about it real quick, guys. So again, because I'm lying, we have my limited liability company with Brightwell Ventures that was signed right here. What else do we
Let's see
got?
What's the name of your LLM?
It's not an LLM.
Or
it's an
LLC. I'm sorry,
So
LLC.
again, I just
You're
wait,
right,
wait,
you're
it
right.
doesn't wait a minute. So I just showed you guys there's an agreement right
What's the
here.
name of your LLC?
So we don't need to go any further. So we
Wait,
now
well, can you
understand-
show it
Actually, you
again?
didn't show us anything.
Yeah, can we show it again?
I don't really think I can show you guys an actual. I can show you guys a signature. Yeah.
Whatever
actually.
you
us.
showed us, please.
Okay, so let's talk about this.
We see one line. Hold on. Pause it. Hold up. We can't see what you're moving.
Okay, so here's the agreement between.
I see.
two parties.
Oh, I
Have
see
you
Daryl's
guys,
name.
Have you guys ever
Hold
seen
on.
an agreement between?
We
two
saw
companies?
Daryl's name.
You
Show
may
it
not
again.
have.
Show it again. I saw Daryl's name.
Guys. Okay, this is
We
semantics.
didn't see your name yet. Show us.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys want to see my
Daryl's
signature?
name was there.
AF. My name is Asen Figueroa. AF. Do you see it? Is that
Where's
the
your
name?
name?
High Tech Elites LLC.
How
Right.
come your name's not listed?
Okay.
This
how
guy's a
come
part
it's
of the elites. What the fuck? Your business is High Tech Elites?
No, it's high ticket because I sell high
Okay.
ticket products, brother.
High ticket elites?
Yeah, man.
I-
Hey, bro, you're giving me PR, bro. I'm talking. Hey, you guys can.
He's
go
a
to
part
high
of the
ticket
elite?
all you want. Guys, keep talking about high ticket elites. Let's fucking go. I actually love it. Keep going.
Yeah, High
Keep
Ticket
going.
Elites. Let's check.
Let's do it.
Let's check.
This
What
is
was the
some
contract for?
The good Lord has brought me free PR. The good Lord has brought me free eyes. I love it.
Actually, you're about to get a Better Business Bureau checked.
Well, you see, and that's okay if you do that because God exists and you will get karma. First, again, because I'm a real entrepreneur.
God's
I'm a
gonna,
Oh my
Justin,
God,
God's
for
gonna
calling you
torture
out
you.
online. I'm really worried about
So
God. Like
he charges
I'm
$2
shaking.
grand. He charges $2 grand for access.
Oh, dude, I charge more than that. What are you talking about? You think I'm making people millionaires just for
$2 grand for 45 minutes?
Dr. Blitz?
The most-
Dr. Blitz? You think
Jason,
I became?
Jason,
You think I did?
90% of them don't even make
wait,
five
Dr.
figures.
Blitz. You think that
This guy's
I
evil.
documented my whole life?
This is like
experience and
straight
built
up
an
evil.
education company to
This guy's
just
a
charge.
fucking scammer.
Okay. You guys, you think that I did
You're
all
charging
this?
$2 grand to people, most of whom won't even make five figures.
Wait, guys.
90%
this
of them
guy
will make
makes
less than $10,000. You're charging $2 grand to these
$200,000 a
desperate
month.
people.
Guys. So again, you're talking to people who can see the truth in front of their eyes and they still want to debate. They can see the truth in front of them and they would still rather debate. than
Man,
just
this is so
negative.
scummy.
You don't make sense. You don't, guys. You guys.
This is
are
why
literally-
this is why you can't have ethics
So-
as a Christian, is because
So wisdom,
you just
guys.
turn out
So-
like a scumbag. Like this guy literally
People-
scams people. Like the failure rate is 90%, and he's charging these people $2,000 for a 45-minute seminar. More than $2,000 is what he said. Fucking insane. Insanity.
Guys,
That's
go to
crazy.
college and
He
spend-
uses
go to
Discord.
college and spend $50,000 to enter a job market that won't take you. That's not a scam. Oh my God!
To be clear, nobody has advocated that everybody go to college here.
Mhm.
Although I think that probably going to college
Oh
is
my God!
generally
you genuinely
statistically
think
Yeah,
paying
I have no
multiple
why- I have
five
no idea
figures,
why you
six
keep
figures
saying
for
that.
traditional education is better than paying a genuine business owner. who
Nobody
really
has
did
said
it
that.
and documented his whole entire
Nobody
process.
has said that.
This is
nobody
the
ha-
traditional education.
Although, to be clear, I think
You're
the
arguing
statistics do
against a
say.
ghost.
I think the
they
statistics
do.
do say like
No, I'm sorry, he
unambiguously, like
charges
even like a gender studies
God.
degree is going to be like beneficial to your overall like economic flourishing.
Phil Lemon,
Okay, hold on. I got some more details on the cost. So he charges $5,000 for a 12-week one-on-one membership.
no, that's more than that. bro.
Weekly/bi-weekly
No,
one-on-one
it's
Zoom
more than
calls.
that. At this point, it's
Wait.
like 7.
Oh, it's more than well. That's what it says.
it's
Wait,
like
are you
it's
are
like
you doing
it's like
false
7.
advertising? Because this is on your website.
Why
Dude,
is
it's
the
like-
business
it's-
address listed as Mellow Mushroom in Georgia? This is a pizza shop. Your business address is listed as a pizza
Oh my!
shop.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably illegal.
Hey, I'm gonna give you a hint. You have the wrong address, buddy.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
What website are you on?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
Brightwell
yeah,
Ventures.
Yeah,
It's
you
registered
do.
with Google Maps, Brightwell Ventures in Georgia.
You have the wrong address, brother.
No, I don't. It's on your website, 5799
Brother,
Chamberlain
just go
Dundee.
to the
It's on the
business.
website,
Go to the
5799
store.
Chamberlain Dundee Road. Look it up on Google Maps. It's a pizza shop.
You don't know what a
Look
virtual.
up the address.
Wait,
Look, I'll
let's
show you. Hold on.
Yeah,
Look
I
at
got
my camera
this.
on.
Yeah, hold on. Let's get this. You
Okay.
take the moon, you take the
Guys,
sun.
you guys, again,
Oh,
Look up the
fuck.
address.
I probably don't want to do that.
traditional
I don't want to
education
dox myself. Hold
believes
on.
you should
Just
pay
Google 579 Chamberlain.
$100,000 for a traditional education that will
He's
never
just
bring
a
you
talking
freedom.
points machine. Nobody cares. We're talking about your fake pizza shop business.
Yeah,
Just Google 579
again,
Chamberlain Dundee Road.
reason
in
that
Dundee.
Wait, do you
doesn't
actually do you have it up?
I actually live
Yeah. Hold on, I
Okay.
got it up. Let me put my camera on. Hold on. This is
Why don't you
wild.
publish statistics of your successes for, or like statistical success
Okay.
for your business on your website? That's what I want to know.
This
You
is
said why
this
would
is-
I?
Just stop talking
why
for
don't
5
you?
seconds. This is the
Why
about
don't I?
page.
Okay, so Dr. Blitz, I'm answering your question.
Just so we're aware,
if
this is the
college,
about
so
page.
wait. If college posted the statistics as to what the actual
They do.
like job acquisition rate is
do.
right now,
They actually
then
do.
They do.
Wait, I'm answering your question, Dr. Blitz. So
Keep talking if you're going to run.
No, I'm answering his question. So you're saying
I did
why
ask you a
don't
question.
I post it, and I'm trying to show you clarity. So why I would not say that there's only a 10% success rate in business is because that's obviously not a positive, but it is the reality, right? So, but the thing is, you realize after, actually learning about the world, why doesn't college show their
They do.
They do.
I'm literally on air. So the largest university in the country, Arizona State University, on their own website, they have an 89% employment rate after 90 days of graduation. Every university does this.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's like you might think of them as like your evil cousin,
you're saying-
90% of
okay,
your fuckers fail, whereas
we are
90% of
at the-
Arizona
They go to
State
school and get
University
we
grads
are at the
succeed.
lowest ever job acquisition rate in history, and we're at the highest price of education. Nothing that you say matters because the
So
truth.
Penn State University reports that 94% of its graduates are employed within 2 years of graduation.
Say it again for me.
Penn State reports that 94% of its graduates are employed within 2 years of graduation.
Okay, brother, you're talking about one university. Let's talk about the entire.
You can do this for any name a university. I'll show you on their website.
Graduates.
Every single university will show you this. Will show you how many
We
people.
literally
are
showed
employed
one
afterwards.
college, bro. One college. Are you
Graduates
okay?
are
We're talking about the whole
employed.
system.
Every single one will show you.
Wait, Justin.
That, they'll post employment
That's it.
rates.
That's the address. Google the address from the website. The website's right here. It's the patioscapeoutdoors.com, listed by Brightwell Ventures LLC at 5799 Chamberlain Dundee Wood
Bro,
Road.
you're probably gonna make me
That
some money, bro.
address on Google
You're probably
Maps
gonna
takes
make
you
me some
to the Mellow
sales.
Mushroom Pizza.
Are you a
Bakery.
pizza technician? What
I
do you mean they're
could-
gonna make money?
You're gonna make me some sales, whether
When
you
I was a
understand
kid,
it
they
or not.
said go to college so you don't end up flipping pizzas and look at your
Oh,
fucking
so
pizza because you didn't go
interestingly
to
enough,
college.
Okay, guys.
interestingly enough,
So
That's the
college
address
grads.
right there.
So college grads have about a 33% unemployment rate overall. So that means there's a
wait, no, but
33%.
that's it. That's interesting because the class of 2023, nearly 85% of the people who graduated with a bachelor's degree were employed or were still in school for like a master's or whatever within 6 months of
But
graduation.
let's talk about all college graduates, doctor. Stop
Yep.
veering off.
I am talking about people who graduate
All
college
college
within
graduates.
6 months. So
all
all of the
college graduates have
Ethan,
a 66%.
within 6 months of graduating, 85% of the people who graduated in 2023 were either employed or were still in school. 85%. That's a pretty good number.
23 stats of all college grads. Let's again.
Well, no, we want to talk about the people who graduate in 2023, right?
Buddy, we're talking about college. We're not talking about 2023. We're not talking about 2019.
Why
we're
isn't
talking
it
about
relevant to
business,
figure
right?
out who-
So we're talking
Wait,
about college.
Ethan.
If you're talking about
Jason,
business,
hold on. No.
it's not about business,
You're
about
comparing apples. You're comparing apples to oranges. So from your business, your quote unquote business, you're saying that people will be successful if they take your class or whatever, right? You're
No,
saying
not
that you
at
will
all.
make them.
Fuck,
Okay,
no.
let me rephrase. Let me rephrase.
No,
You're saying
Dr.
that
Blitz,
it is.
I do not say that. I'm a
I'm
realist.
rephrasing.
Just like
I'm
Ian,
rephrasing to be more
just
accurate.
like Ian
Your
is
claim,
a realist,
Ethan,
so am I. I
Ethan,
know business
Ethan,
has a 90.
You're claiming that people will benefit
Yes.
from your class, right? So
Absolutely.
and then we find that the people who take your class are equally as successful as the people who don't take your class. However, so we're looking
No,
at
that's
success as a
lie.
result of your class. However, on the other hand, if we look at success as a result of graduating with a bachelor's degree, then we want to look at people's employment after graduating from that degree. So we would want to look at what percentage of people who graduated within it have a job within, say, 6 months. And that's 85%. or they're in a master's program, right? I wouldn't say those people are unsuccessful if they're in a master's
It's
program.
Okay.
Keep in mind, the people who
bachelor
are
grads
employed,
employed or in further study within 6 months is 85%. Bachelor,
Yes, that's really
bachelor
good.
grads employed full time past 6 months is only 57.2%. So there's a 43% fail rate. Stop talking. I'm sorry.
well,
42.
no, hold on. So do the math.
Yeah.
So
No, I did the math. The math's right in front of me. It says bachelor grads employed first time. Full time is 57.2%.
Yeah,
You're
Asen,
wrong.
do the math.
You're wrong.
So that means,
it's in front of me.
do the math, Asen, that means that 28% are just in a master's program or in a PhD program. 85% are either employed or are in graduate school.
Or are in further study. You're
Yeah. So
85 is the
54
further study.
50,
the graduation
58%,
brother,
58%
brother.
are in full-time employment, which means the remaining must be in graduate school.
The 85% is the remaining being in graduate school. The 57.
No. Wait, you think 85% of people who graduate with a bachelor's are in grad school?
No, it says bachelor grads employed or in further study is 85%.
Right. No, right. And so so of that 85%, 54% is full-time employed. So that means that or 58%. So that means that the remaining 27% is in graduate school. Because there's options: being employed, being in graduate school.
Dr. Blitz, the metric group, this is not the initial metric says bachelor's grads employed full time.
Let's just
6 months post grad is 57.2.
Numbers are hard. What are the numbers, Blitz?
85% of 2023 grads are either employed within 6 months or are in further education, right? Getting a master's, getting a PhD, whatever it might be.
In
What's up with
6 months.
This freaking quality. This is terrible.
Grad school.
Holy shit, this quality's garbage.
And then what?
And then the other number that he quoted is 58% are full-time employed.
58% full-time employed.
6 months post grad, guys.
Yeah, this is all post-grad.
Oh, well then this would just be like an easy subtraction problem.
Right, 85 minus 58 is 27.
Okay, and then we have 85 minus 58 equals 27. Yeah.
Yeah, that's implying that all the other 23% is what you're saying is correct. That means that. That's implying.
That is what that means.
That is what it means, because they're either employed or they're in grad school. That's what the 85 is referring to.
Employed or in further study, 85%. So you're saying the difference is because they're in further study. Understood.
Mm.
Okay. Okay.
And I wouldn't say being in grad school is like a failure. I wouldn't say that means that they were unsuccessful. In fact, arguably, I would say that that's success.
Yeah, unless they're in a PhD program and then they made a horrible life choice.
Then they made a horrible life choice. No, it was a good life choice. Don't trust Ian on anything. Yeah. So the point is that it seems like universities actually have an 85% success rate, and they do post those numbers. You can find them on every university website. Why don't you post the numbers?
And I'm sorry, a success rate. What is success to you?
Like full-time employment sounds good.
Full-time employment or
full-time
furthering your education. That seems success.
Yeah.
If that was your measure of success, you were saying that the employment rate from universities is at an all-time low. Actually, it's at an all-time high.
Guys, they think full-time employment is success. Your guys' brains are clouded, bro.
This was your metric,
Jason. But that's just obviously true. Low. It's like obviously a good metric, right? If you go to college.
Also, that was the metric that he was using.
Yeah, I defend that metric as being like independently a really good measure.
Be successful making $40,000 to $50,000 a year while you have $50,000 to $100,000 in debt and predatory debt. How is that a meaning of success? What are you talking about?
I don't think that person is very successful. I think they made a horrible life choice, as some do.
He's saying all you guys who are in that predicament made a horrible.
In fact, actually, the full-time employment rate for bachelor's degrees has increased. I think it's actually at an all-time high right now.
Say it again.
The full-time employment after 6 months graduating with a bachelor's degree is higher than it has been in the last 5 years, and it might even be at an all-time high.
Where are you reading this from, Dr. Blitz? That is incorrect.
So I have the data from 2020, from 2021, from 2022, from 2023, 2020, and 2023. I don't have data from 2024 because they haven't passed the 6-month mark yet.
Okay,
accumulate the data, but if we look at that data, it's been going up.
Okay, so logic states that if you just logically follow people who graduate college, they all are mentioning it as the hardest job market ever. Everyone. I don't even know what you're saying because it is
Where's the data?
it is in the public right now that it is the.
Where's the data?
Where's the data? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Understood. R grad. Okay. I'll get you the data. Fast.
Also, I mean, that could totally be true. I don't think it's true, but even if it was, it would be a question of like your chance of success doing college versus like your chance of success doing like drop shipping.
Okay. So again, remember, so I was actually faced with the same decision that you guys were faced while I was a soldier. I was either can go to school, right, guys, and get traditionally educated like you, or I could kind of have some balls and take a bet on myself and start a business. And the best decision I made in my entire life was deciding the latter, to not follow everyone else like you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
And then in terms
Yes, everyone else. By the way, Asen, just a quick
Yeah.
question. What percentage of people are successful business owners and what percentage of people have PhDs in physics? Just question. Just a quick question.
It's both low. It's both low.
I bet you we could check those numbers.
Yeah, now that we've established that, you know, going to college is for spineless fucking ballless goddamn weasel fucks. What are you studying again?
Hey, so
and where are you
States-
studying marketing again?
United
Where was
States
that?
unemployment
Where's
is
was that
41
was that like a
Guys,
university
hey,
or is it like
doctor.
some sort of college arrangement?
Hey, doctor, you asked for the
About
data.
10% of people, I guess, are successful business owners.
Doctor, you asked for the data. The data.
About 10% are successful
doctor,
business
the
owners.
data
What
is
percent
here.
have PhDs?
The doctor's in front. The data's in front of me. 40 freaking 1% of 2024 college grads are unemployed. 41%. Holy fuck.
Wait, how do you
Holy
arrive at that?
shit. What are you talking about? Come to CT
Wait,
Insider.
41% are unemployed? That seems kind of implausible. I mean, they might
Well,
be
wait, but
currently
because
unemployed.
when they-
Well, I didn't say
They
it,
graduated
guys.
last month.
This didn't come
Wait, what
from
about
me.
what about
They
people in
graduated
grad
last
school is the real question.
Guys, that does it. We're talking about graduates
Oh, no, he
trying
said
to find
2025.
employment. It is a 41% unemployment rate for people who graduate.
What
trying
percent
to
of them are
find-
trying to find it?
What do you mean, brother? 58%.
What about
58%?
does this account for
50
people who went to like grad school, for example?
58% are employed who go. Okay, so out of 100,
I'm seeing 4.4%.
Ian. Out of 100%,
I'm seeing 4.4%, not 44%. Did you misplace a decimal point?
What website?
I'm on the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Sure.
Okay, well, I'm on the the sole source right here. So let's talk about it real quick, guys.
The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, that's where you are?
The
Because that's
U.S.
the sole
Bureau.
source.
Oh, so we're talking about, okay, so in the second quarter of 2025, the underemployment rate for college grads at more than
underemployment rate.
41%.
Wait, do you know what underemployment is?
Now let me reread this back home, man. What is this? What is this freaking statement?
Underemployment and unemployment are very different things.
All right, guys.
This is why y'all should go to college, guys.
You're trying to make me pay 99 cents. Amazing.
I mean,
All
could
right,
you really complain about that when you charge people fucking like $8,000 for a YouTube video?
Oh, I don't complain. I educate. I don't complain. That's the thing. I understand the truth. I understand that everyone's getting scammed in the tradition.
Wait, so
I don't complain. But my
if you understood that, why did you misrepresent the unemployment rate for recent graduates by a factor of 10?
I read this word for word. I didn't mess with.
You said unemployment, not underemployment. Those two things are very different. Do you know what underemployment is?
Yes, I'm going to show you the words that I was reading.
Tell me, what does underemployment mean?
So you can see that I'm not misconstruing. Okay, so I'm not misconstruing. I'm reading what's in front of me. I'm reading the data in front of me. I'm not pulling fucking words out of.
Do you know what underemployment means?
Underemployment, brother.
Yeah,
That's
do you know
not
what
what
it
it
means?
said. Yes, but that's not what. All right.
That's what you said. Because I'm seeing 4.4% in January of 2024.
Oh, I'm sorry. Unemployment among 2024 grads reaches 58%, with 41% underemployed. So I was actually
Wait a minute.
wrong.
58.
It was
So
more.
actually, I'm seeing 5.8%. Do you know what a decimal point is?
What website are we on?
CT Insider right here, guys. It
CT
states,
Insider?
yes, it's CT Insider, and I genuinely do not know what CT is. Maybe college track. I don't freaking know.
Connecticut Insider?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Connecticut, brother. So
And what's the article name?
58%. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So it's actually
Recent CT college grads frustrated by lack of jobs, AI and tariffs by
58, bro.
employees. This
Guys,
is from CT Insider. It says that the unemployment has risen from less than 5% to 7% over the past year. This is the same website that you're
Hey, we're
using.
talking
It doesn't
about
say
college grads in
58% anyway.
2024. Weren't we talking about
Yep, I'm looking at the
2024
same
college
thing.
grads? Why are you switching it? We're talking about 2024 college grads. The data point.
Well, because the article that you said existed,
That's the data point you didn't have. So I'm simply giving you the data.
Sorry,
point
what's the
you didn't have.
name of the article that you're reading?
Okay, let me take a screenshot because I think he's trying to make me freaking pay 20.
Can you just read the name of the article?
Yeah, it's called CT Insider. CT College Grads, no jobs, Gen Z. No
CT college jobs.
No, it's the article that you have.
no
Yeah.
Jobs.
CT College Grads, no jobs, Gen Z.
Is it recent CT college grads frustrated by lack of jobs, AI, and tariff shy employers?
Maybe.
Wait, are you using the actual website, or are you just like using?
Yes,
AI
I'm using the actual website, brother. Absolutely.
So then read me the actual title of the article.
Can you give me a second? It's giving me this 99-cent pop-up. I got you, dude. Don't worry about it. I'm going to read you the actual artial.
What fucking
Wait,
website
how did
are
you read
on?
the article if you had the 99-cent pop-up?
Because I keep refreshing it, brother. That's simple. All right, so look at here you go. You guys love semantics, don't you? You guys love to say
What's the
bullshit.
name of the article, just so we can make sure we're looking at the same
college
thing?
grads frustrated by lack of jobs, AI and tariff shy employers.
Right. Okay. I'm looking at the same article.
This is literally 6 days ago. 6 days ago,
I'm looking at the.
they
I'm glad.
reported
We're looking at the, so I'm looking at the same
2024
article too.
unemployment was 58%. 58%.
So this is among those. Just to be clear, it doesn't say that. It says among those who graduated last year, 58% are still looking for their first job.
What does that mean? Unemployed?
Sure.
What does that mean?
But to be clear, are we talking about like
what does that mean?
6 month employment
It means
rate?
they can't find a job. It means they're unemployed. What are you saying?
So do you know? So,
Dude,
so to be clear,
Dude,
hold on. Let's
proved my point.
Be chill.
You just proved my point. 58% of people who graduated in 2024 are still trying to find a job. It's a long time after 2024, brother.
So then make sense of this for me. Make sense of this for me. Why in the same article? Why in the same article does it say the labor market for recent college graduates deteriorated noticeably, dipping to 5.3% in the second quarter of 2025?
Because maybe 2023 probably had a fucking 55% unemployment rate.
No, this is 2025.
2022 had a freaking 50. But what you're reading is that you're seeing the continuous decline. It's just a decline year by year.
Wait, this says 2025. This is now. It says the
decline
labor market
percentage is year after year. The decline
in percentage. This is 2025.
Dr. Blitz.
Yeah, the article came out like 6 days ago.
58% of people are unemployed since 2024 who are college grads, Dr. Blitz. Stop ignoring it. How about you go back to the data point you asked me for?
So then make sense of this. Why does it say the unemployment rate is 5.3% for recent college graduates?
2024 college grads, 58% of them are
read
still
the
trying
first
to find
sentence.
employment.
Read the first sentence.
No, you asked me for the data point that you
I know.
missing,
So read the
and
first
I gave it
sentence
to
of the
you.
same article.
No, you have nothing else.
Do you not know how to read?
Guys, if you graduate
make
college,
it make sense.
58% of you guys will still be looking for a job 8 months.
Make it make sense. Why is there
if you graduate college, you will be looking for a job.
College grads?
No, he's not going to be able to do that, Dr. Blitz. He doesn't have like the
Dr.
tether
Blitz,
to reality to allow
Why
for
are you
that.
ignoring the 58% data point? Why is that something that you're not talking about anymore? Why?
Well, because it doesn't seem to square up with the exact same data point that they give 2 sentences earlier. It doesn't make sense.
I just told you the answer to that 3 times, and you're just talking over me. I just told you that
why is it
data
that
point
the
is on a year-over-year basis?
unemployment rate?
That means in 2025 it got 2.5% worse. In 2024 it probably got 3% worse. You understand?
It's not saying that it got 2.5% worse. The unemployment rate in 2025 for recent college grads was 5.3%. That was the unemployment rate.
Why right here does it say 58%, Mr. Doctor?
Yeah, so that's the question, right? Why don't these numbers agree with each other?
You asked me to find the data point, and I found it for you.
Yes, and why doesn't that agree with the same?
I can't tell you why.
So why do you believe it if you don't understand the data?
The data point that you asked me for says that. I can't tell you why Tracy.
Okay, so I'm just going to rely on the
Yeah,
same data
I can't
point
pronounce that last
same...
name either. Understandable.
So just to be clear, I'm just going to rely on the exact same data point. 2 sentences earlier, I'm going to say, oh well, the unemployment rate for college grads is 94.7%. Sorry, the employment rate is 94.7% for recent college grads in the same article.
Well, in the same article, it also says 2024 college grads are still looking. 58% of them.
It actually doesn't say those words for what it's
Hey
worth.
guys,
It
so
says
there looks
different
like
words,
there's two
but that's fine.
contradictions. So it doesn't say those words, Dr. Blitz? Are you
No,
lying?
it doesn't say anything. It doesn't actually say the word or say the number 2024.
Oh,
In
really?
that paragraph.
Okay.
No,
Hey, can
no,
you
it
just
doesn't.
can you just link the article so the whole live can see that you?
I can just turn on my camera. You can see it here.
It doesn't even make sense. What are you saying, brother?
I'm just playing a semantic game, but like it doesn't say that. So here,
But it
here's
does.
Control F.
It does say that.
Here's Control F.
Okay.
One of one. Let's go to the. Okay, so here's the only place in this article where it says 2024, and here's the paragraph that you're reading. You are referring to this paragraph here, which doesn't say anything about 2024 on it. Now it does say among those who graduated last year, 58% are still looking for their first job according to Kick Resume. Who knows where that came from? But the point is that
So
it doesn't
you're
actually say
ignoring. So
2024.
you're ignoring. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Why are you
Well,
ignoring?
why are you
Who will
ignoring
I
this?
believe? Kick Resume or the Bureau of Labor Statistics? I just can't tell.
Oh, guys, now they're lying. So now because it doesn't fit in their prerogative, now Kick Resume's lying. Yes, guys,
Who will
let's bend it
I?
again.
Who
Let's
who
bend it
shall
again.
I?
Do you know who Kick Resume is?
I don't know. I do not.
How will I ever figure out
You asked me
who
for it.
I will believe?
And I gave you one.
Wait a minute, hold on. To be clear, Kick Resume is a company that's trying to sell you on making better resumes.
Sell who? You guys, not me. You
No, like unemployed people. So maybe they
You
would.
don't have anything to put on
by
your
the way, they're-
resume. Pipe down.
By the way, they're using
My resume wouldn't
ChatGPT
fit
to write
in the
resumes.
world, buddy. I never
So-
would. I don't, buddy. I don't have.
Maybe
resumes in my
Kick
life.
Resume would be would benefit by saying, look how unemployed you guys are. You need to use our product.
Okay, so now there's a. Okay, so now you're not taking the.
Well, there's a business incentive. Why don't we rely
Yeah.
on the Bureau of Labor Statistics?
Yeah.
Okay, because the Bureau of Labor Statistics, because the college is a for-profit business, and of course the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
If
will
it's a
make-
for-profit business,
will
then the
make
Bureau of
the
Labor and
statistics
Statistics
look
wouldn't
good.
care because that's a federal thing.
Dude,
not
college is a
private.
business, bro. You just said
Why
Kick
would the
Resume has a
BLS?
business
Why would the
attached to
BLS
it.
care
College
about?
is a business.
Why would the
Are
BLS
you
care about a
okay?
private company then?
College
not
is
in bed
a
with each other.
for-profit organization.
Yeah,
You
is
just
the
told me
BLS?
Kick Resume.
Does the
Guys, so
BLS
Kick
do that?
Resume, because Kick Resume is a business attached to it. This guy does not realize college is a business.
Do you know what BLS is? Are you familiar with that?
Dude, you just full circled it, bro. You just said
He
Kick
can't
Resume
answer.
has-
He thinks that this weak rhetoric is going to work. He thinks that even one
College
single.
is a
Do you?
genuine
How
business.
stupid do you think my community is? Do you think that this rhetoric is going to work on even a single person in the entire community? The question was
No,
very
I
easy.
don't-
Do you think that the
I-
Bureau of Labor Statistics is a
I-
business?
I'm not here to appeal to your community. I understand I'm nowhere near a part of your community. That's why I'm on here, because people need to be shown different perspectives. And if all people were shown is the same perspective, then all they're going to know is all they're going to know. But there's probably going to be about 2-3% of people in here who are like, damn, maybe these people are kind of full of shit. And maybe Asen, he's free. He doesn't listen to anyone. He's actually curated.
Wait, he's not free though. He charges like $8,000.
Hey guys, so I think I'm pretty.
Is
We're
dodging the
having a great
question
conversation,
permissible under Christian
having a great
ethics? And if it
conversation
isn't,
online
why
right
do you
now.
dodge the question
that's
so
why you're
much?
You're in
Question
your-
was
In
like
that
very
amazing
easy.
zone right now.
Yeah,
I feel it.
yeah, it's
I'm
all right
like,
though.
yo,
It's all right, babe.
I'm
Look,
like, what's going on?
no,
Tommy?
it's good, babe. It's good.
Okay.
It's
guy's
good,
like a
guys. It's good.
child.
One
Okay.
second. So, guys, freedom relies on you not thinking as like a traditional human.
Does it
So
rely
if
on
you
you
actually
dodging the
want to-
question? God damn,
Oh,
answer the
shit.
question.
Oh, my bad, dude. My volume was lower. I didn't even know you were asking. Sorry, I'll answer it.
Yeah, do you think that the Bureau of Labor Statistics is a business?
Oh no, promise, brother. I don't know about them. Let me just do some research. If they're not a business, they're not a business, man. I don't know. But do you think that the Bureau of Labor Statistics isn't directly correlated to the business of college?
Of course they're not. If one's a private business, then by definition they're not, because the BLS is a federal organization, which means that it's not a private organization. So it can't be, actually.
So you think a federal organization is not intertwined with collegiate education?
Well, if you're saying that collegiate education is a private for-profit business, then no, kind of by definition, one's private, one's public. Now, if you're saying that they have, some sort of relationship with each other,
Do you know what
plausibly.
lobbying is? Do you know what lobbying is?
Lobbying
yes,
the
the
Bureau of
university
Labor?
lobby, very powerful. What?
Oh my God. Okay, so
That's a really good point, Dr. Blitz.
It's very hard to argue traditional education because I'm not as traditionally educated as you.
Yeah,
and
it's because your education
understand.
teaches you false things, so it's hard to argue with true things. I grant that.
But remember, my education has led me to living free. I don't think it's false. I live the life that you mentioned earlier, that, you know, when you want to get somewhere in life, you must have a certain set of wisdom and experience. Well, I've gotten to that point, and it was well without the knowledge that the traditional education that you have. And actually, again, to understand your guys' world, that's why I'm enrolled in college, because I'm someone who actually, I do care about education. So again, I just mentioned I am enrolled in college to kind of see this world and see what it is, to have both sides. And that's the thing. You guys would never do that. You would never go to the other side because you're too scared.
Well, yeah, I can't throw away my education. It's not like a thing you can get rid of.
Yeah. Dr. Blitz, why won't you make a horrible economic decision?
Well, no, I mean,
Dr. Blitz become a drop shipper.
You can't get rid of it.
You could become
I'm
oh
gonna
my god.
I'm gonna start selling. You know what? I bet you. Say I in the chat, or say yes in the chat, if you would pay $4,000 for me to talk at you for 45 minutes about my topic of choice.
I do that.
Probably not gonna. Let's see the eyes. Who's gonna pay Dr. Blitz for?
I hear that Dr. Blitz gives a mean talk about black holes.
No.
I actually literally gave a talk about black hole. I mean, Ian knows this, but
Wow.
yeah, there's a lot of people who say yes.
Okay, so guys, for you guys saying it, put your money where your mouth is and pay.
I'm actually, funnily enough, I'm actually going not to shill for myself. I'm actually going to be starting like a higher tier Patreon thing, just so then people can feel like medieval patrons where they like pay scientists to do
Sounds
research
like
again.
a scam.
In what
No,
way?
this is just like an industry that
Sounds
people have been
like
doing
a
for like
scam to
1,000
me,
years.
In what way?
Sounds like a scam.
How is it a
Why would
scam?
you start a Patreon? Why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you ever use your value and your wisdom and your experience and charge other people for it? Why would you do that, Dr. Blitz?
Because what he says, I'm assuming that
maybe because
higher
you
than.
actually have
Oh, okay,
wisdom,
yeah, this guy
knowledge,
doesn't
and
want to hear it.
experience that could positively affect the life of others.
Oh no, I wouldn't. I'm not offering
Brain
a class,
click.
Jason.
Oh wow.
Jason, I'm not offering a class. I'm not trying to teach people
Brain
whatever for
Doctor,
$4,000. I think you missed the whole point.
So you're coming
Yeah.
full circle to something I've already came full circle to. I'm going to start a Patreon, guys. Who wants to pay me? Buddy, you're fucking late. You're late. You're extremely
Wait,
late.
I think
I've
there's
had a
two
Patreon
key
account for, like, several
differences.
years.
I assume
There is
Dr.
not a
Blitz, your
key
patron,
difference.
would be like,
The key
I don't
difference is
know,
that I teach
maybe like
based off of
max
my life experience.
$50. And
Hey,
the
hey.
interesting thing is, I think more than 10% of the people who watch your video would understand the topic.
Okay.
That's
Understood.
probably true. No, it's actually a separate thing. I'll tell you about it later. But no, actually, I've had a Patreon account for like 3 years, or 2 years now, and it's like $5, $10, and $15 or something like this.
Have you considered
people
becoming a
like to support
contributor to
what they
PragerU?
So why isn't
I
that free?
should.
Hey, Dr. Blitz, why isn't that free?
The content I produce is free. I don't lock anything behind a paywall.
No. You just said you charge people Patreon. Why?
No. There's. Do you know what Patreon is? Patreon
What is that? A donation? Is that a form of donation? Is that a form of charity?
It's like a monthly subscription donation. Yeah.
So it's just a monthly subscription, guys. That's a donation. What?
You get
Yeah.
like extra content.
No, I don't lock anything behind.
Oh.
behind the.
So it's
Patreon.
literally just like if you want to support me.
Oh, so you're saying it's an option? That's awesome, dude. That's some charity work right there, brother. Hey, well, I have a free school community that I don't charge anything for. That school community will teach anybody in this.
And then you have another set of lessons that you charge $8,000 for.
Hey guys, so Dr. Blitz has a patron. I don't have a patron. I actually will teach you all my entire business model for free on school. It's called Elite Coaching. Because again, you guys think that I'm a scammer. I actually teach the whole thing for free. I actually post.
Wait, do you
entire
lock
model
anything
on
behind?
YouTube.
Do you lock anything behind a paywall?
Throughout I just told you my school SKOOL community is free.
Wait, do you lock anything behind a paywall, like in any of the content that you produce?
In the school community, no.
No, that's not what I asked. In any of the content that you produce, is it locked behind a paywall?
Any of the content I produce.
Any of the education that you do, is it locked behind a paywall?
For my private education company, absolutely. But for everything
There
else,
you go.
But
So it's not free.
Hey, so why isn't college free, Dr. Blitz?
That's a great question. This guy's asking the good ones.
Question.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Don't threaten us
let's
with
do
a good
it.
time, Dr. Blitz. I'm certainly going to be in favor of like massively reduced college
Okay,
pricing.
Tell me why college is not free. Let's talk about it.
Because something capitalism, and it shouldn't be. It should be free.
Because of these greedy fucking administrators.
Wow, guys. So they just admitted The greedy fucking administrators are out for your
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, it's
And
still
you
a
need
good
to
decision to
give
go to
them-
college, though. Yeah.
You need to
Better
give these
decision than going to
greedy
your than
fucking
getting private education from
administrators
you.
your money.
Is this cyberbullying, Ian? Is that what's happening right now?
Sometimes I wonder.